What is up? Happy Thursday. Not quite Chamber of Commerce weather.
And just 4 days away from Monday.
Dude, I was so excited about Monday. I laid out my clothes for Monday last night, put them away, laid them out again.
Dude, I think I'm going to practice getting to work Monday, like tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock.
You know what? You should do that. You know what? I'll meet you here.
Okay.
We'll go. You know what? We'll do a practice show.
Yeah.
Let's do a practice show. Loving Mondays. It's going to be great.
Loving Mondays, dude. That's what we got to. That's what we got to do.
That's our new thing. It's Loving Mondays.
Loving Mondays.
I told Belle, man, you should definitely never take a Monday off ever again. And if they ask us, you guys want a Monday off? It's a company holiday. No,
it's a hard no.
I'll do an extra 8 hours.
If nothing else, we'll just come up here and we'll, change the trash bag liners. Just so we can work on Monday morning.
Getting so close to Mondays. I'm pretty pumped about that.
And Bell can't wait for it.
Oh, he's been first of all, can we just say, he don't go anywhere and doesn't do anything. By about the second hour of Monday,
yeah,
he's like, what are you doing? I'm working, you idiot. What do you mean, what am I doing? You got no friends, Belle. Go see a movie. Go fishing. Because you know how it is, man. If you don't have anybody vacation with or do something with, it's like if you win the lottery. You're like, what's the lottery up to now? It's like the Powerball's closing in on $1 billion again or whatever. It's great if you
win. Is it
win.
really?
I think it is, yeah.
And it's not even making the news.
No, not yet. You know what? We're at that point now. $800 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it ain't $5 quadrillion, I don't want to know.
Yeah, it's whatever.
But if you're like, you have to give one of your good friends the means to retire, so you got somebody to hang out with.
And give your enemy 2 pennies.
So I can give my enemy anything. A hug. Give them an extra Monday. But what else are you going to do? Because hey, you guys want to go do something? No, fool. I got to work today.
Got to get up.
Yeah.
And we got to practice for Monday, brother.
Got to practice for Monday. Because I always think, okay, you win the lottery. Like, what are you going to do with the money? It's like, all right, who am I going to, sprinkle a little bit of love around? But there's got to be that one or two people that you're like, all right, here, dude. Go to your wife. Here's X amount of dollars. Tell her you no longer work because we hang out. And she'll be pissed because she's like, I don't want to work either. That's not no. That's not part of the thing.
That's not part of the deal right there, man.
Yeah, Chad's going to pay me to hang out with him. That's right, because what else am I to do? You want to hang out with your boys. Because everybody I think, has that one person who like, yeah, I would probably have to make sure he quits his job. Right?
Absolutely.
I would love to just all right, Bill, go buy your underground bunker. I want to see what you do with this. And you know what? I think he would go in there and hope it was sealed off. He'd get in there and he's like, all right, here's the deal. Once I'm in, close it and then lay concrete on it. Like, okay. There was that movie with Brendan Fraser. Do you remember it? It had Christopher Walken in it, Sissy Spacek. And
no.
It was the one where it was the 50s during the middle of the Cold War, and they had a bunker, and he goes, Christopher Walken and Sissy Spacek, they think that it's a false alarm, but they think the world's coming to an end, so they go in their bunker, and it seals for like 30 years. And then they have a kid, and they have this full underground house, and it's like a pretend outside, the whole 9 yards. Then he comes, they're running out of supplies, and he doesn't want to be down there anymore. So Brendan Fraser goes up. They allow him to leave. And, the world's totally, it was like it's downtown Los Angeles when there was just little houses. Right. Now it's like, Sunset Strip and there's strippers and it's all. But it was funny. That's Belle's dream right there, except for the part where he comes out.
Except for the part where he comes out, yes.
Yeah, because he ain't doing that. He ain't doing that. Oh, man. Hey, the weather's going to be gorgeous today, right?
Dude, I'm telling you, last night, around, I guess it was about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I always go outside because my neighborhood has these huge trees, and the tree frogs right now are just glorious.
Don't lick them.
No, don't lick them. But I like listening to them because they help the hissing in my ears. And I'm just sitting out there. I'm listening to the crickets and the tree frogs. And just out of nowhere, dude, this just cool breeze just starts blowing. And it just continues. And it's like any humidity that there was just removed. I mean, it was just gorgeous last night. And it's the same thing this morning. Yeah, I don't know what it is because it says humidity right now is 54%, but for some reason, it feels great outside.
I went outside, so in the middle of my show, while I'm doing my taping and stuff, I had a break, and I can run right across the street. It takes me about 5 minutes to go across the street, get something. I go over and get they make these nice little biscuits.
Yeah.
And I got outside, and honest to God, you could feel, it was a little warm, there was this breeze, and in the breeze, there was tickles of coolness.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is so nice. And the first thing I thought of is, Ken would go, this is Chamber of Commerce weather right here.
That's Chamber of Commerce weather.
This is it. This is what we sell. But yeah, it is gorgeous outside today. Like yesterday when I went home, I was like, it's kind of gross. But, then I thought I'm going to go hit some golf balls because I'm the person who likes to go out and play golf when it's 100 with 80% humidity because I know I'm the only one out there.
Right.
Which is beautiful.
Now looking ahead, Brother Chad.
Okay, let's talk about it, baby.
We're going to start hitting. The furnace is coming back on.
Holy moly.
We're going to be 86 for the high today. Going to be 89 tomorrow. Then tomorrow night, we got a return of the pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Going to be likely. Saturday's going to be a washout.
Okay.
We're looking at a 70% chance of rain on Saturday, which means that it's a pretty good chance wherever you are on Saturday, you're going to get some rain. Saturday night, it drops down to 40%. And then Sunday, we're up to 94 degrees. Ooh. And then our favorite day of the week, Monday, 97. Just going to make Monday all that much better, boys.
I'm pretty excited about that. We got to get those shirts to say, we love Mondays.
We love Mondays, especially whenever they're swamp ass.
It's a Monday mood, and my Monday mood is excited. Somebody just asked, are you guys moving to the early morning show? Yes, we are, but only on Mondays. We don't care about the rest of it. Like, tomorrow, worst day of the week, because it's Friday. It's not Monday.
Yeah. Friday means we're getting ready to have 2 days off.
Yeah.
Who likes that?
I know. Senator Scott, does anybody like that out there? As in Florida, he's like, I don't know, Americans should be working 7 days a week. That's a hard no, sir, but thank you very much for that. Oh, by the way, great movie, Blast from the Past. That's what it was called.
Blast from the Past.
You would like it. You would like it.
I'm going to check that out,
It's a funny movie. Sissy SpaceX hilarious, and of course, Christopher Walken is awesome.
Yeah, he's good in everything.
Yeah, it is. And it's a funny movie. It's, what was that? Was it the Twilight Zone when they thought the Russians were attacking and one guy had the bunker and then he was fighting with the neighbors?
Yeah, they were actually having a birthday party.
Yes.
And everybody was friends and loving each other. And then all of a sudden, they thought the Russians were attacking or somebody was attacking, and only one of them had the bunker. And the people that had the bunker had to kick all their friends out of the house. And then all of their friends come and try to break down their bunker.
Yeah.
And then they do.
Because it shows you how bad people can be.
Yeah.
It does. Shows you absolutely how bad.
And then remember, it was a false alarm.
False alarm. That's it. And in this movie, it's a false alarm, too. It just looks like the world is blown up because when it goes up, it's like the 80s or 90s. I think it's like the 90s, and it's a hot mess.
I'll have to check that out, dude. I didn't know it existed.
You will enjoy that movie because anything, again, Sissy SpaceX is great, but Christopher Walken.
There's just one plot hole with it.
What?
Taxes. How they go 30 years without paying property taxes?
Because everybody thought they were dead.
Yeah.
And it's underground. And they own the property, but everybody thought they were dead. So, because they live underneath like a Sam's Goody or like a Warehouse Music. So the guy comes up through it was awesome. Hey, by the way, how's gas? Anybody know?
$3.75 on average per gallon here in Middle Tennessee as of this morning.
Yeah, well, if you love $4 gas, it's coming back.
So I got a feeling that's probably going to be going up if we're up to $100.
We're up to 100 right now. WTI is 92-ish, 92.40, and Brent crude is almost 101.
There's still a place selling $3.30 gas. It's at the BJ's on I-24.
You better get over there now because that's not going to happen for very long.
That's where I'm going.
Now.
I'm going to hit it.
Yeah.
I-24, BJ's on I-24.
Yeah, you got to have the card to get the full discount, but still it's like $3.45. And there's also a Thornton's that's got it for $3.45. I saw on the way in, too.
Son of a biscuit, even.
Yeah. So it is Oh, somebody said today is their Friday. I work 4/10s.
4/10s wouldn't be bad to have 3 days off.
No. You know what's funny? I remember my aunt used to have that way back in the day, like in the late 80s, early 90s. But it was weird because she was off she was off Saturday, Sunday, and then she was off Wednesday.
Yeah, I used to have a screwed up schedule. Whenever I worked in Tulsa for a while, I was like the weekend. I mean, I was the weekend news anchor. I worked 20 hours, both like 10 hours Saturday, 10 hours Sunday. My days off were Thursday and Friday. And I got to where I didn't like having to work 10 hours on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, that's
because all my buddies were off.
That's why it goes back to the same thing I was talking about with all the, if you win the lottery. If nobody can hang out with you, then why quit your job? Just go do something else. Because otherwise, what are you going to do? Sit around by yourself? And if your buddies, I've been there, man. If your buddies aren't off, what are you going to, what did you do? Nothing. Maybe go to the movies by yourself?
I mean, fortunately, they got off at a decent time, and so I was able to hang out with them in the evenings, on that Thursday and Friday. But Saturday is when they were really having fun.
They're partying. They're having a good time.
And where was Ken Weaver? Chasing house fires and shootings.
Good. Chasing house fires and
tornadoes whenever they came along.
And the naders. Thank God the naders didn't get you. You know what? It's the year of it's the summer of shark again.
And lettuce shooters.
Lettuce shoot. Lots of lettuce shoot. We got to get into that. It's just growing. It's spreading. It feels like what's the thing? You've got the lettuce shooters. Then we found out there is potentially catfish cancer.
What?
Did you see that?
Oh, I got to look that up.
Yeah.
Catfish cancer.
It's just, it's all happening, people. It is.
What is going on?
I have no idea. I
freaking love catfish.
Yeah. So hospital pharmacists work 7 11-hour days, 7 days off.
Scientists found that black skin lesions on brown bullhead catfish are actually a form of melanoma.
Yeah.
And it appears to be transmissible.
There you go. So you're eating catfish and you're thinking it's good and it's all fried. And then you go and you bite into it. Next thing you know, boom, you got melanoma.
Son of a biscuit eater. So now you're going to have to ask your waitress, excuse me, but is this bullhead catfish? And he or she's going to say, I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you sure? I just want to make sure this one, did this one die of natural causes? Did we murder this one early? Or is this one, did it die of cancer? That is crazy, right? See, kids, we're keeping you abreast of all the important information. And there's plenty of it out there. We will talk a little bit about Iran. How high can this go? Because Iran is, we're supposedly playing for keeps. They're playing for keeps as well. And the Houthis are involved now.
And Rubio says they are dying to make a deal.
Yeah, well, they're always dying to make a deal. I don't know how dying they are to make that deal. I don't.
Especially after what the House did this morning.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, by the way, yesterday, that deal with the whole, we're going to give the Saudis some nuclear capabilities and maybe one day let them enrich and stuff. And even Israel came out and said, I don't know if that's a good idea. And then Trump today walked it back. It's like, well, that's only if they get involved with.
We're just talking about that right now.
It's like, okay. So this is going to be very interesting over the next couple of days. I have a sense this thing's about to get a little bit spicier. I do. I think it's about to get spicier over there. I hope it doesn't, but, I don't see us right now capitulating all that much. And at the same time, I think they are feeling as if we can hold out long enough. Maybe that midterm does something. Maybe it doesn't. Or maybe we're going to throw the world into such chaos with energy prices that there's going to be a global depression. So ugly indeed. A lot of other stuff to get to. We'll talk about the salad shooting contest that's going on. It's one you don't want to be involved with. You know what's sad? Now that I can't have a salad, you know what I want? A freaking salad.
Just because you can't have one.
Just because you can't have one.
See, that's like Matt Murphy. That's how he is. If somebody tells him he can't do something, he's going to do it.
Yeah. My buddy who is Jewish, Dave Schramek, what's up, brother? Dave, he did Lent one year because he thought it'd be hilarious with everybody, and he swore off rum. He drank more rum in a month than he's ever. He thought he was a pirate at some point in time,
Right.
Because he's never had rum before. So anytime somebody tells you can't do something, that's it. So now I'm sitting there last night going, God, I want a salad, but I'm afraid to ever eat a salad again.
Go to the farmer's market.
I'm not going. No, that's even the worst place to get it because we don't know what's going on with those. And I'm not cooking my lettuce.
And he might be tempted to buy some broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
No, settle down there. All right. I eat too much of that already. Coming up, a lot of good stuff to get today. We're also going to talk about affordability here in the surrounding areas, Nashville, Davidson County. You know, like what, like how affordable are people struggling at all? Are you guys doing well? Is everything great? Hear from you on that. Bunch of other good stuff. I want to get your questions in for Monty tomorrow. I'm going to ask him questions, but you guys got some questions as well, which you would like to have answered. So we'll do that as well. A bunch of other good stuff on the way. If you're missing the show, we got all the podcasts. You can stream us everywhere. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital, if you have a chance tonight, jump on their live webinar. It's called Market Blind Spot. There is some market blind spots. AI ready to burst. What about all the geopolitical issues that are going on out there? Are we in a time where you can see the market start to go sideways, even pull back a little bit? And are you prepared with your investments and your retirement for that? They want to show you what they're all about. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. That's what it's all about with my friends at Bulwark Capital. It is free tonight, 5:30. Sign up today at knowyourriskpodcast.com. They're going to show you how they look at the world in a global investor kind of way rather than just singularly put some stuff in this market and let's see what it looks like in a month or so. That's not what they're all about. It's free tonight. It is called the Market Blind Spot Webinar. Sign up now at KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com, knowyourriskpodcast.com.
All right, drivers, we got a crash. Fessler's Lane, going to be at I-40, then Old Hickory Boulevard at Edmondson Pike. In Franklin, we had a car fire off on the right shoulder, slowing folks down 65 northbound past Murfreesboro Road. 4 Republicans joined Democrats to rebuke President Trump in the U.S. House of Representatives today. We'll tell you about it at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what's going on over there. I mean, does it mean anything? The Iran's watching, just like everybody else is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is a resolution, so I don't know if it's got any teeth to it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But, those four, they said, nah, we think Congress ought to have a say.
I think so at this. If you're starting to move people over, and now you're seeing, we've lost, 18 people now, and the hundreds injured that we weren't really told about, the fact that they hit a CIA facility, several others. I think people are asking questions. Hey, you say that we won, right? And we're just running up the score or whatever. But, the Houthis are involved now. This is feeling like it's starting to become a wider issue. And then to top that all off, if you guys are paying no attention, they're weighing the potential to attack Mali. Not Mali, the drug, but the country, because there's an insurgence somewhat of Al-Qaeda, and it's a weird situation where you've got the junta, which is it's essentially the military runs Mali, and the Wagner group is fighting with the military against Al-Qaeda, and we might have to get involved. So that would be 8 countries that he's attacked to go along with the 48 wars he stopped. So far, he's to the good, though.
And he's licking his chops looking at Cuba.
So, yeah, Cuba. What did Marco say today? That Cuba, they're all willing to die, the leaders, rather than, Cuba be free. Well, at this point, how are they even surviving? I mean, you think about the resourcefulness of the people on the island is one thing, but how they haven't revolted. It's been, you know what my theory is? If the weather's too good, it's hard to revolt.
Well, and they've got all those cool 80s model cars.
Yeah.
It's like one big gulag, man. They can't get out. They're stuck there.
I just, if it's cold and you don't have anything and food is scarce and you're angrier then.
Oh, yeah.
But if it's perpetually 78 degrees and you're always kind of on a beach, it's hard to get angry.
Yeah, that's not necessarily throwing your life away to try to overturn a government type weather.
That's
situation
not
yet.
Yeah,
you're not starving yet.
Not yet. So, but I just think it's going to collapse at some point in time. I think they would like to avoid having to do anything because I think they feel like it's close where they can eventually fly Marco in and put a crown on him so he can have Cuba. Is that what Marco gets? Is that what he gets? I think he gets Cuba. Is that his goal?
He's too busy.
Viceroy of Cuba.
Viceroy of Cuba. That's what I'm thinking too. Coming up, a lot of stuff still to talk to. We're asking you guys a question, right? And I'm going to get over to you guys on YouTube in a minute. I've just been busy. I know it's really crazy that I'm doing a show trying to answer 28 different things, but and that's no excuse. Are you guys feeling any affordability issues whatsoever at all or no?
Well, Charlie Hatcher last night's running in the 5th District against Andy Ogles said that is the only thing he is hearing from people on the campaign trail.
I 100%. I mean, that's it, right? Like somebody just texted affordability, right? My wife and I make 120 to 130K a year. No debt. We feel like we're struggling. We just can't get ahead. We don't have small children. We do have small children, which takes a big chunk of our budget, but crazy how pre-COVID we made way less but felt more comfortable. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of people feel like they're either treading water or they're just below the surface. And no matter how hard they paddle, it seems to rise. So let us know. Text the program. Bunch of other good stuff on the way as well, including what does $1,500 a month get you as far as an apartment? We will discuss that. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Over in our nation's capital, the U.S. House voted to require congressional approval for continued military action against Iran. 4 Republicans joined Democrats in passing this resolution. which cites Congress's constitutional role in authorizing war. This measure now adds pressure ahead of a Senate vote on similar legislation. Could happen today. President Trump, in a social media post, says the nuclear deal his administration announced with Saudi Arabia just yesterday is contingent on Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords and normalizing relations with Israel.
Saudi Arabia has been reticent to join this arrangement, in part because it is insistent that there be a Palestinian state. The president this morning made this statement, and his press secretary at the briefing said that it is the final word on this, that the president is ultimately the deal maker in this, and that the deal is contingent on this condition the president announced this morning as far as Trump is concerned, and that if they don't agree to it, Caroline Leavitt says the deal is off.
Right now in Tennessee, Channel 4's Holly Thompson says the volunteer state's among 41 states at risk of losing SNAP benefits if states don't get error rates in check.
So those are the percentage of food assistance dollars distributed where people either got too much money or not enough. Last year's error rate average across the country was about 10%. Part of President Trump's big, beautiful bill says that states must keep those error rates below 6%. If that rate is not caught up by October 1st of next year, recipients could lose out on those assistance, all of that completely.
Yeah, according to the Tennessee Department of Human Services, that would be about 50,000 people here in Nashville. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Seconds.
Overnight, tomorrow it's back in the 80s, clouds and sunshine once again. Saturday will be in the mid to upper 80s, an isolated shower with a thunderstorm in the afternoon. A little bit more humid, but then it really starts to get humid on Sunday and hotter. We're back in the 90s. The heat index over 100 on Sunday. The heat index will stay over 100 Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Beacon Capital Management. You know, one thing I hear from a lot of people out there is, we're concerned about taxes, right? Government spending, deficit. We talked about it yesterday, $93,000 a second. We're borrowing. Debt's continuing to grow. The investors out there, questions are tax rates likely go higher? Yeah. I think at some point in time, we got to think they might. And a lot of the stuff in the One Big Beautiful Bill, guess what? That stuff's going to sunset. So you need to know you got somebody to help you take care of that. That's where Beacon comes in. They've got ways to help you with elevated strategies aimed to reduce the impact of taxes on your retirement income, among other things. And when it comes to the income, they can help you with that as well. You call Beacon today, they're going to get you out a free retirement ready toolkit for you. It's got a Money Enough for Life book, retirement planning checklist, and a guide for maximizing your retirement income. All of this, no cost, no obligation, and absolutely no pressure. So whether it's taxes or your retirement income, even things like Medicare, long-term care, Beacon's got you covered. Call them today. They're local. They're amazing. Sit down and talk to them. Call Beacon at 615-488-9303, 488-9303, or go to askbeaconnow.com to start a conversation today. For Beacon Capital Management, this is a paid placement. Monty and tomorrow at 1. Monty Fritz, you got the hat on today, don't you there, Ryan?
Yeah.
Ryan's got a hat. Monty brought in hats. If you want to, look, we work in radio. Somebody texted in a little while ago and goes, yeah, you guys shouldn't worry with the world you work in radio. You don't have anything to worry about. I'm like, I don't know if you're aware of this. We're the bowlers of the entertainment world.
Absolutely, man.
We're not even the professional bass fishermen of the entertainment world. We're the bowlers of the entertainment world.
Yeah.
You want to give me something free? The only reason we have a promotion's so we can go down and get free T-shirts. For years, when I was in music radio, my wardrobe was crappy bands. That's it. What you wearing? Oh, this is the redhead stepchild. Oh, they're awful. This is, that's, that, dude. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, man.
So
I wore so many shirts over the years with call letters on them.
Oh,
I really like the ones with the collars.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I'd wear to church.
Well, those are my dressing up ones.
That's my Sunday. It's my Sunday suit.
But Sunday best, to tell you what. Hey, you know what? There is a. Maybe we'll do a little later. I saw it today on Good Morning America. I was like just looking for some fun, silly stories because I was doing a shark thing. And shorts making a comeback in the workplace as part of business casual.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. No more leg prisons for us.
Leg prison.
That's what those things were. Tearing away my hairs. I don't know who you think you are.
No doubt, man. I've got my hairs back. They have finally grown back.
Really?
But I'm telling you, man, right about December.
Yeah.
Shorts until December.
You know me, man. I wear it all the time.
You do it all the time,
I walk in here in the freeze, wear my shorts.
Dude, they did that up there in Idaho.
Yeah.
Those people are crazy.
No, they are.
They're wearing shorts when it's like 4 degrees. They love it.
I don't know. Yeah, I would wear that. Because this is the way, if I had to work outside, I don't know if I'd do it all day.
Well, yeah, they're not doing it when.
But if I walk my, I think one day it was like 900 steps or whatever it is here, whatever short distance. So I walk my 900 steps here. I come in here and I'm here for several hours. I'm not outdoors. I mean, whether it's 100 outside or -5, it's the same temperature in here, except for where we sit when we do our show prep.
Yeah.
Where on any given day it could be hanging meat or it could be 308 degrees. So, yeah, I'm telling you, man, those foot prisons with shoes and definitely leg prisons. Tell you what. Jason he enjoys watching professional bass fishermen. Well, they make more than we do.
Yeah.
You guys would be surprised. Again, I joke about us being the bowlers of the entertainment world.
Man, I should have fished for a living.
What was that guy's name? That he's Fishburne? Was that his name? It's his name. You guys know, you pro bass fish. I used to watch pro bass. I used to be fascinated.
Well, there was Jimmy Houston.
Jimmy Houston, right? Oh God, there was several, but I used to be so fascinated by pro bass fishing tour. And I'd get up on Saturdays on ESPN early and I'd watch it. And the thing that used to make me go, whoa, they would hold their weigh-in for like the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
In an arena. And they would drive their boats in, and then the guy would stand back there and he'd pull out the bass and the arena would cheer. And I'm thinking,
oh, yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
I had a buddy growing up in high school, his dad, Bob Myers, he fished professionally.
Really?
Yeah. Made a pretty decent living out of it.
If you can make a living out of Bill Dance, that's the guy. I was trying to think of Bill Dance.
Yes, sir.
First of all, he had very foul mouth. And secondly, when he falls off the boat on several of their outtakes, hilarious. Hank Parker, Bill Dance. It is, you know what, though? If you could fish for a living.
Oh, man.
Not just because when we go out and we tuna fish, guys, I don't think you guys realize, we have bamboo poles. It's like a fist fight to bring these things in. And then we got to drive all the way over to Japan, and we got to maneuver around all the mines that the Iranians have laid, trying to take our fish away. That's a hard thing. But if you could bass fish for a living, that's got to be awesome.
That's living right there, man.
If you can make a real living at it, not like when I watched I'm telling you guys, if you've not watched the bowling documentary where they follow around all the pro bowlers, the guy with the big hair and everything.
Oh yeah.
Ken. I'm telling you, man, they're going to the World Championship. Some of them are driving around in their little Elantra with like 4 of them in there, and they're bowling in the World Championships, and they're like 8 of them sharing a room, and you're just like, wow. Like that's even worse than minor league baseball.
That is, man.
So
8 of them sharing a room.
oh god, yeah, and it's weird too because so I was watching. There's like 4 or 5 of them in a room, and then each time one of them get eliminated, the next day there'd only be 4, and the next day there's only 3. Right, and some of them could fly, but most of them drive from place to place because they don't have that kind of money. So
Well, it meant less hair in the soap.
yeah. Hey, yesterday, speaking of flying, so so yesterday my wife, so my eldest, she's turning 18 in like 3 weeks.
All right.
So her best friend lives in North Carolina, never been on a plane before, and I want you guys to understand they're all a bit on the spectrum. So they're wonderful. North's an amazing kid. So my wife has to fly out because they had this big plan where they're all going to spend a couple weeks out in Arizona swimming. They're going to go out to my wife's father's house out, and he's got beautiful property in Colorado. He's got ponds. They're going to fish, but they're going to do go-kart racing, everything. So my wife had to fly out to North Carolina and pick this child up who's never been on an airplane before. So she gets there. Yesterday morning, she says, wake me up when you get up and start doing your work. I wake her up at like 2 because they got to be at the airport by 4. They get to the airport because of all of the storms.
Yeah.
They don't leave. They're supposed to leave at 7. They have to be rerouted like 5 hours later to St. Louis. From St. Louis, it's like a 6-hour wait.
Oh, man.
So she got up yesterday at, would have been 2 o'clock, and they didn't get home back to Arizona till 11, which would have been about 24 hours.
Yeah. Wow.
They said Southwest, because of all of the delays, it was so overbooked, it was by hundreds, not like 3 or 4, by hundreds of people.
That's the thing about flying, man.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the air and you're landing, it's great. But it's just getting in the air and landing.
That's it. Yeah, it's getting on. And normally they tell you, book the earliest flight you can because that's the one with the least opportunity of delay. Because it's the first plane out of there, so that means chances are it's not a connecting flight from somewhere. It's taking off, but they said because of how many delays from the night before from that big storm, what a nightmare. And she couldn't even sit with her because they didn't have enough room. And I'm like, oh, and she goes, then we got to St. Louis, and she goes, what a horrible, horrible airport. If you guys have ever been to St. Louis, I've been there. It is horrible.
Dude, the worst experience I ever had flying, and it was because I was a smoker at the time. I got stuck in Minneapolis one time. There were some cancellations, and I had to sit in the Minneapolis airport for like 6 hours for my next flight, and they had no smoking areas.
Oh!
And I couldn't go outside because this was post 9/11. Dude, I thought I was going to lose my mind.
Oh, my Lord. That is I've had some delays. Nothing horrible like that. Although if I spent 6 hours in an airport like that, I'd probably snack.
Well, even if you're not a smoker.
There's nothing to do. Like, how much food can you eat? How many games can I watch on, inside the bar that I don't drink at? I don't know. Chad Mookie Betts, baseball player. I know he's a competitive bowler, but he also makes $200 million a year playing baseball. So
Remember the wide world of sports back when we were kids?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, pro bowling was huge
baby.
on it.
Pete Weber. I remember that. The wide world. What's his name? Earl Anthony?
Yeah.
All of those guys. I remember they used to have the PBA. It's just crazy. But we're the bowlers of the entertainment world. So for all of you out there, it's like, you guys are killing it. Settle down.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm driving a 2013 Honda Elantra.
Settle
Hyundai
down.
Elantra.
Settle down with your braggadociousness. Your Elantra. That's a big word right there. Probably means something like wealthy in Latin.
But I do love what I do.
I love what I do. Sometimes in life, if you're willing to, do something, like, take a little less to do something that makes you feel good and that you enjoy. You know, and I'm not talking about people who think they're going to be great singers and they're going to always live at home with their mom and dad till they die and it becomes their house. And we know who those people are. I'm talking about, you know, it's like, hey, I could make 90 grand here, 50 grand here, but I'm going to make 42 here, but I'm going to be happy. It's a different thing. I love what I do.
Happiness, baby.
Happiness matters.
Happiness is what it's about.
Somebody Jewel just sent us a picture of a fish that is a crazy looking fish.
Okay.
It is paddlefish.
Oh, yeah.
Percy Priestam.
Yeah, paddlefish, man.
40
they get
pounds.
big.
Does it have cancer?
I don't know.
Does it have cancer? It doesn't have cancer.
By the way, I was an update on that. Why is that chat no longer available, Chat GPT?
Why?
You better give me that chat back. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna have to get after my Chat GPT, dude.
What'd it do to you?
I don't know. It says that I'm trying to look up what I looked up on the catfish cancer. I'm going to have to put it back in. But I saw where it says there is no risk to humans from consumption of the catfish. So I don't even know why they got to put that out like
So
that.
now I have to hang out with a catfish to get it? How does that work? I'm curious how that works. But it's weird that they can get cancer, right?
Yeah, researchers found no evidence that it poses a risk to humans. The cancer cells cannot survive in people or other species. Just know that on these bullhead catfish, there's any like black lesions and tumors. That means that catfish has got cancer.
It's weird that fish get cancer. But when you think about you're in the water, I mean, how deep do they go? Because you would think, how much,
Well, and catfish, you know what they eat? They eat everything.
Everything. That's why people said, you as a Christian should know you don't eat catfish. I was like, let me tell you something about me and fish. I don't eat fish, okay? Catfish or otherwise. Although.
Got to put them in fresh water for about a week.
Did
Let
you
them clean
see,
out.
I was watching.
But I usually just clean them right there.
Right there?
Fry them right up.
I was looking at, speaking of fishing, flipping around, looking at wacky animal videos, talking about Jimothy, the little
Jimothy.
This guy goes, you know, it's been a great day fishing when this happens. And this guy's got a tractor driving down the street and he turns the corner and he's got a halibut on it because it couldn't fit on the car. Obviously, this is Alaska. You're like, that's a good fish.
Speaking of Jimothy, dude.
Yeah.
Is it possible a raccoon hooked up with a monkey?
Anything in the world is possible, but
I love that. I love little Jimothy.
Jimothy, he's got short spine syndrome.
Yeah.
So, because there's a couple dogs out there, if you guys have seen it, you know, they look like a monkey, but then a raccoon. And they're curious as if there's more than one or two of them, there might be another one out there.
Yeah, because Jimothy has no tail.
He has no tail. That's the weird thing. And the other thing is, the fact is, it survived. Because its mom would have probably abandoned that litter saying, yeah, you're not going to survive. And it survived, and it's thriving.
Yeah, people love him.
And in the wild, raccoons live about 3-5 years. In captivity, they'll live 20. That's why they're trying to become domesticated. And thanks to Cameron and Matt, we can now own one without a permit.
Wouldn't it be funny if a Jimothy showed up at Matt's house?
That would be great.
And Matt adopted a Jimothy.
By the way, Jimothy got a bobblehead today, going into the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame.
All right.
Little Jimothy there, kids. Little Jimothy. A lot of stuff. We're going to do a little sports here with Ryan. We'll see what he's coming up with, because yesterday, well, you know what? But he said, don't worry, I got it covered today. We'll find out because he's filling in for Bell. Talk a little bit about some of your text messages coming in about affordability. Many of you out there are saying, look, you know, it's not as affordable as you think. And it's funny because they were breaking down what income level makes you upper income, upper middle class. And I was looking at it going, I don't think that's true, but they're trying to break it down as if it is. And I don't know what year they took that survey, but it's in the Tennessee. They will talk about that as well. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Relief Factor. You're sick and tired of being in pain? Aches and pains suck. Most of what we get, especially as we get older, it's inflammation, right? Your feet hurt, your joints hurt. It's a lot of it's inflammation in those muscles. Relief Factor tackles that from the inside out, right? When you take a Relief Factor, rather than just masking the pain topically, it works to decrease inflammation, which gives you more freedom to move around and live life better, and you don't have to live in pain. And that's what I love about Relief Factor. Right now, you can get a 3-week quick start. Over 1 million people have tried Relief Factor and used Relief Factor because it works. $17.76. Little Independence Day special still going on. You can get it by going to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. I take it every single day, working out. I don't have aches and pains. I don't have trouble moving around. I don't have trouble getting up or sitting down. Sometimes you just get long in the tooth. That happens. Third party tested for purity and potency. Relief Factor works. Call 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor. 800, the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Four Republicans break rank on a resolution about the war in Iran. We'll tell you about it coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dun, 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 dun. Bell's not here. He'll be back on Monday, I think. Or maybe not. We don't know. Haven't heard from him. He might have walled himself off, never to come out again. But we still do sports.
Now it's time for Sports with Bell. When you need to know sports information, you turn to the guy who calls basketball shooty hoops. Let's talk some sports with Bell.
Yeah, Bill's not here, but Ryan is. All right, Ryan, what you got for us?
Well, right now we've got the Grand Sumo schedule going on. We've got a tournament going on right now in Nagoya. It'll be going on till July 26th. That is the fourth of six that they'll have this year. And you can get tickets if you want to go down there.
Sumo wrestling?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd be pretty good at that. Keep eating the way I am.
They let one foreigner in per year, per team that they have over there. So
Yeah.
they got a guy from Ukraine who's actually cleaning them up over there. He got pretty far.
It's a hard life. You ever watch those, because you go there as a kid, and it's still kind of like a feudalist mentality where you're becoming almost like a samurai, but a fat one.
Yeah, big fat one.
And it is really, it's so bizarrely disciplined and undisciplined at the same time.
They eat 3,000 calories a day. I don't see how they don't get diabetes.
Well, they do. They do. And that's 3,000 calories. That's nothing. They should probably be eating 10.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah. What was it? What's his name? He just had his birthday. Erling Haaland. They were trying to eat his, one of the reporters was trying to eat his daily intake, which is about 6,000 calories a day. And I thought, good luck with that. And football players, they'll tell you all the time, the big guys, the big uglies up front.
Football.
They're the ones who, they say the minute they're done, that they don't have to eat like anymore. It's great because you think eating everything you want all the time, it becomes a chore after a while. It's not fun. But they want to put that weight on. But I'd be great in sumo. I'd look good in the outfit, too.
The heaviest Japanese-born sumo wrestler on record weighed 584 pounds.
Who was our guy? Was our guy Yarbrough? Was that his guy's name? Our big dude?
The American?
Yeah.
Let's see.
The big brother, right? Emmanuel Yarbrough? What'd he weigh?
Let's see.
Holy mother of goodness. 600 pounds. 6'8".
6'8", 600 pounds.
Yeah, he passed away. I don't know if you are aware of this. He had some issues. Poor diet, fried foods. So 51 years old of a heart attack. Jeez. That ain't good.
Goodness.
Go get a salad, but not right now, but soon. Chad Pensfield, Super Talk 997.
It's 1 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. House lawmakers have approved a war powers resolution that directs President Trump to end military operations against Iran unless Congress signs off. This after a handful of Republicans broke rank to support the measure. The administration has requested billions of dollars in additional funding for the conflict, while critics argue Congress has not authorized the war. The debate now shifts to the Senate, where lawmakers are expected to consider a similar proposal as soon as today. Meanwhile, global oil has now gone back up to $100 per barrel as maritime traffic is all but stalled in the Strait of Hormuz and in the alternate route in the Red Sea. The Iranian-backed Houthis are patrolling the Red Sea route. They say they've struck 2 Saudi Arabian ships there. We get more from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
This could be a potential significant escalation or another move in all of this conflict in the region. The president says that the United States is going to inflict, quote, major military punishment on both Iran and the Houthis if this were to happen again, saying he will hold Iran responsible because the Houthis are a proxy surrogate group of Iran.
Well, today the Trump administration says it will expand a voluntary pledge that urges AI companies to foot the utility costs for any new data centers being constructed, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The pledge today is being expanded to acknowledge all elements involved in building and operating data center, the governors who appoint the state regulators who set the power prices, the utilities and the co-ops that sell the power, and in addition to the tech companies that have already signed the pledge.
A magnitude 5.0 earthquake hit Texas this morning in the northwest part of the state near Amarillo. No damages reported. And a child was shot overnight here in North Nashville. Channel 4's Marius Payton says it happened during a fight at an apartment complex in the Parkwood Estates.
Police say a bullet went through a window, grazing that child in the leg. Those injuries are considered minor, and there are no suspects at this time. Metro Police are reviewing multiple cameras to figure out who is responsible.
Yeah, the child treated at a local hospital but has since been released. In Putnam County, a traffic stop ended with 4 adults being taken into custody and a 5-year-old girl caught in the middle of an impromptu drug bust. News 2 Andy Cordan.
She's sitting amongst people who have serious drug felonies as well as possession of fentanyl and meth.
I live in Lebanon.
Which one's your daughter?
The little one.
The one that's not properly restrained. The seatbelt. None of you guys wearing seatbelts?
Deputies suspect drug use in the car.
Check.
This canine confirms it. The car is searched and drugs are found.
Yeah, the little girl's mother was the driver of the car. She is also a suspect in a larger drug case involving the TBI. That little girl now staying with another family member. And that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Happy, gorgeous Chamber of Commerce weather today. But Ken has alerted us it will be rainy and wet and getting ugly.
Yeah, we're heading back into the furnace, boys.
It's okay. It's all right.
Back into the crab boil.
Thank God Monday's going to be nice, though.
Yeah, well, Monday's going to be even better.
Because it's Monday.
Because, well, number one, it's Monday, but the high on Monday is going to be 97 degrees.
Oh,
so just think what the heat index will be. Oh, I can't wait. Just 5 more days.
Just 5 more days. Count it down. So we got Friday. We're like, and then Saturday. Like,
I mean, got to get through the 2 days off. I know that's going to be tough, but it'll be here soon enough.
Then we get here, man, and it's going to be so awesome. A lot of you chiming in about not only the cost of living, but also questions about how much food the sumos eat, and do they have special bathrooms?
Like trains or something?
I don't. I'm assuming they probably do. I mean, when you watch some of those guys walk around, they have to have special something. I mean, because some of those guys can't even walk. I mean, they only seem to be able to do. I just think they're so messed up that they only know how to lean forward, and then they get turned loose and they crash into each other. Otherwise, they just go right off the side. That would be.
That's actually a tactic. They like fake them out and make them run right past them.
A little bull rush, like you're playing football. Look at me go there. Right there. Tell you what. Jason says, I hope the real feels is 120 on Monday. Yeah, baby.
That'd make it even better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We were talking about jobs and out there. And what's a dream job? Like, think about it, right? I mean, when you were a kid, whatever you're doing, you're like, are you thinking to yourself, oh, one day I want to be a truck driver? You may like it now, but what was your, as a child, what was that thing you were like, remember astronauts, pilots, nobody thinks they want to work at some place where you're like, I never thought I would be a chef, or maybe some people did, but what was that thing you wanted to do? So, I mean, I think I was fortunate enough. I followed my dreams, and I got to sit here and talk because pretty much that was it. It was either this or nothing. That was kind of the jam. But do you always want to work in radio, Ken?
After I got into it, yes.
Yeah. That's what I told one of the guys. So one of the guys downstairs, AJ, he got a job. He's a teacher.
Oh, good for AJ.
So yesterday was his final day, and I was talking to him, and he's a teacher, but he's a tennis coach. He's going to be their tennis coach because he played tennis in college and stuff.
All right.
And it's really, that's it. But I said, you're going to miss radio. He goes, dude, I know I'm going to miss radio. Radio's one of those weird things where you get out of it and you're like, oh, dude, I miss it, right? Because it's like, it's a real job, but not a real job.
It's fun.
It's fun. It is.
It used to be a lot more fun.
Yeah, it used to be really.
When I could smoke a pack of Winstons while spinning country music.
when you used to be able to get payola.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this guy wants you to play his album, and maybe there's $1,000 here. Maybe there isn't. You're like, okay. That's what I heard used to happen. But no, I mean, if you're going to, because I've always been, if you're going to hate your job, you better get paid well for it.
Yeah. Because I know some people who hate their jobs and they don't get paid well for it.
See, you can't do that. You can't have both. You can't both hate the gig and get paid squat. I mean, you got to have one or the other. And sometimes in life you get lucky and you're able to make a living at the passion you have. But making a living, I want you guys to listen to this. Are we making enough to live here comfortably?
The headlines have been sobering. In Nashville, the cost of living is rising.
It's going to cost you more than $111,000 a year.
And all across Tennessee, childcare is getting more expensive.
It costs more for Tennessee parents to get daycare for their child than it does to send them to an in-state college.
Cost of living has been an issue for families at the grocery store, too.
They so expensive, I can't even buy them anymore.
And city leadership has been trying to change it.
Feeding your family shouldn't be treated like a luxury.
Tonight, WSMV has gotten exclusive access to new data from the United Way showing the situation is dire. As of 2024, the most recent year for which data is available, 41% of Tennessee households faced financial hardship. That breaks down as 13.7% living in poverty and 27.6% earning an income, but not nearly enough to survive.
And that's a big thing. I mean, survive. You've got 6 out of the 10 zip codes in and around here who are struggling to make ends meet. And even people out there who are making okay money, as we've heard from several people, you think, oh, I'm making good money. Why is it that I'm barely surviving? And as you said, well, who was it that said the only thing that they were talking about at the town hall was affordability, Ken?
Yeah, it was Charlie Hatcher. He is running in the 5th district as a Republican against the incumbent Andy Ogles. He came on Matt's show yesterday, and he said everywhere he goes on the campaign trail, he said the number one thing everybody is telling him is affordability is an issue for them. He says he's running into a lot of people who are having to work at least 2 jobs just to make ends meet.
And you think, well, how can that? Because life's expensive. By the way, it's everywhere. It's not just here, and it's not just people, oh, those are all Democrats. It's everybody is having issues minus a certain group. Yeah, there are some people out there doing okay. And you've got certain levels of people, obviously we have that. But you're at a point now where the middle class, even the upper middle class, there are people out there who are making really good money. You would think, oh, if only I made $120,000 a year, I'd be fine. You're finding that that's not true anymore. It's not true at all. People are struggling, and affordability is a big thing. And I know, Trump has said, oh, that's a made up word or whatever he said, that's not real. It is absolutely real because we're still a checkbook. And for those of you out there who are younger, checkbook back in the day, people used to write a check and pay things for it. But we're still that bank account, checkbook, economy voter group. And we're looking around going, life's getting more expensive and going to get more expensive.
Poverty means earning $15,060 a year for a single adult and $31,200 a year for a family of 4. But the other 27.6% are what the United Way calls ALICE. It stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed. ALICE families earn above the federal poverty level, but not enough to afford basic survival expenses. And what's that number? Just barely $65,000 a year. We have an exclusive look at new data for Davidson County. It shows 11.6% of households are living below poverty. Another 28.2%, or nearly 97,000 households, are working, but still making less than what it takes to survive. Listen to this voicemail from a Davidson County mother calling the United Way days ago for financial help. We've agreed to digitize her voice for her privacy.
But I'm calling to see if I can get some help with my rent for this month and food. I have a job, but right now I am facing eviction.
In Davidson County, 2 zip codes have the highest concentrations of working families who still can't survive. In 37210 or South Nashville, a total of 59% of households make less than $65,000. A total of 56% of people in 37115 or Madison are in the same boat.
It's a struggle. And when you see people who go to the food bank, and I know when we've gone to the Nashville Rescue Mission stuff, you'll talk to them when they're feeding people, and you come to find out that everybody thinks that everybody goes there is homeless. And you find out, no, a lot of them have jobs, they have cars. They are going where they can eat because if they can get a meal there, maybe they can save some money so they can pay some of their other bills. And it's growing. But even people who are busting their butt working a couple jobs are finding they're having to work a couple of jobs to survive. And then you look, they did a thing today. What's $1,500 get you here? 700 square foot apartment, $1,500. That's not a lot. I mean, life's expensive right now. And it's going to get more expensive for a while. That's the number one thing, that when you go every single midterm, every election, it's always about affordability. And this one is particular because I think people feeling we've got a weird job market where it's a no hire, no fire job market. People really aren't getting fired, but nobody's getting hired. And that's why they're having to piecemeal together. They have a full-time job, but it's not enough, so they got to go over here. People's rents are going up. And, out there, it is a struggle. And, I talk to a lot of you guys who text me or tweet me and we'll go back and forth. But you're saying, look, it sucks. I'm making X amount of dollars. We had somebody text last hour between him and his wife. They go, we got no debt. We do have a small child, but we make 120 plus grand a year. And we're struggling. Pre-pandemic, we made 80 and we were doing okay.
You're like a health emergency away from real trouble.
Yes. Right there. That's the other thing. How many people out there, if you got that surprise bill, if you needed 4 new tires today.
Oh, man. I paid, let's see, the last set of tires I bought, I paid $850.
Good God. Was there cocaine in your tires?
I checked.
Not anymore.
I mean, my Lord. So, it is.
I get mine on Facebook Marketplace.
I just, mine cost, what mine cost? How much was the jack? I forgot. It was like $100. And then I just stole the tires. So it was free after that. But it was a little bit of labor. No, I mean, I couldn't even tell you because I need to get 2 new tires and I need like a tune-up. And the first thought that went through my mind is, this is going to cost me like $2,200.
Yeah.
For a tune-up, oil change, 4 new tires. And it's going to come back with something else. And you're like, ooh, this is crazy.
You drive a Lambo?
No. I drive a Mitsubishi something or other. I don't even know what it is. It's something. I know that. It's a something or other. I don't know if that's its technical name.
It's a Dylan Majigger.
I don't think you guys understand how much I don't care about cars. But like my little light, like the dreaded, you're due for an oil change and a service. And it beeps. And you're like, crap. Because I know, okay, boom. And you know this. Every time you get to the point, you're like, oh, cool, got some breathing room. Then it's like, well, it's the kid's birthday. And then it's back to school. And then over here, we got to do this. And then, Jax needs, the other day, I was a little pissed at Trump. Not a shocker. A lot of you guys, not a big fan of the tariffs. But Trump's tariffing who? Canada. What stupid sport does my son play? Hockey.
Yeah.
50% on all hockey goods. I told Jack, you better get outside, find a tree, and learn how to whittle. So, but that whole, that thing with the medical debt, go look at the medical debt. And I know that luckily Mike Johnson and the Republicans have solved the health crisis in this country when it comes to our insurance. But the number one, go look at why people file for bankruptcy. A vast majority of it isn't because they live beyond their means. It's because otherwise the hospital's going to come take their kidney back.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. That is brutal. Because all of us have, at some point, we're at the point now, it's like, don't call the ambulance, I'll walk.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford $4,800 for my 2-minute drive.
I'll rub some dirt on it.
Yes. Or some tussin. It's cheaper to go to medical school and to learn than it is to go to the actual doctor. Somebody's going to be like, Chad, that's not true. I get it. It's called sarcasm. It's what it is. A little sarcasm right
But
there.
it's a real deal.
It is.
It's a real thing out there.
And the emergency side of stuff, whether it's your tires. Some of you are telling me how much your tires cost. I'm like, oh, my God. $1,600 for a set of tires?
Absolutely.
What kind of tires did you get, Ken?
Dude, I got the cheapest ones. I got the cheapest ones they were offering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're good tires. They're still. This was, good grief. I don't know how many miles ago this was, and they still look great. But yeah, man. It's a thing.
It is.
Healthcare. These emergency things that come up.
Yeah.
Air conditioner goes out.
Oh. God, you had all that problem with those air conditioners.
I did last summer. In fact, a year ago today, Jennifer and I were sitting in our house, and it got up to 92 degrees.
Whew. But if it was a Monday, you'd be fine.
Yeah, it was Monday, it was fine.
But it was a Wednesday, so it sucked. But those little thing that happen that you don't think of, your transmission, don't even forget about it. That point in time, make sure you're fully insured, and maybe your car caught fire. You don't know.
Yeah, well, that's where you just you trade it in and hope you can find some used car you can afford to buy.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the key there, and getting used stuff, saving where you can, being frugal.
Well, save when you can, being frugal, but even being frugal, there's only so much, right? Especially if it's something like, are you going to train your own transmission? You're probably not going to do that. So
you do your own oil and stuff.
You can do your own oil, but not everybody can, and not everybody's got a place where they can even do it. You can put oil in, but as far as changing a lot of it, it's like, again, it's a struggle out there. A lot of people understand that. And yes, some people live beyond their means, but I think that's a great convenient way to say everybody lives beyond their means. Not the way I think people think. There's a lot of sacrificing going on there, a lot more than we want to, because we want to think everything's great and people are just being stupid with their money. That's not always that way. Coming up, more good stuff on the way that's fun and frivolity, because that's what we do here. Talk a little bit about sharks. Are we at a position where sharks are coming? Plus, we got some of your text messages about some of the emergencies you guys have run into and the cost of groceries as well. Some of you chiming in. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Forward Capital tonight, 5:30, just a few hours from now. They're doing a live, and I do mean a live webinar. It's absolutely free. It is called Market Blind Spot. What's going on in the markets? Are there things that are about to change? Is there going to be a pop? Is AI over its skis when it comes to things like the cost of their build out compared to what they're actually bringing in? They're going to talk about that. It's totally free. They're going to show you what they're about at Bulwark, lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, and what is the upside potential that they can get you when it comes to your investments and your retirements. And sometimes, even when things go south or geopolitical things happen, if you're positioned right, it's wonderful. And a lot of people don't understand that because their advisors are just, we're going to throw you in a couple, different funds and we'll go from there. That's not what they're about at Bulwark. So find out what they're about tonight by signing up for the free, absolutely free Market Blind Spot webinar happening at 5:30. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital's Market Blind Spot webinar tonight at 5:30.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 26111.
The Wellness Institute in Nashville, our good buddy, Dr. Mitchell, my doctor, should be your doctor, has great deals going on. Epic Spinal Special right now, $33 off each visit. We talked about the Hydrowave machine, which is incredible, but he's also got the Medical Bay 1, futuristic healing machine. It's going to massage your body. Right now, while doing that, full body lasers using red light and infrared and near infrared. What's that do? Stem cells. Add stem cell stimulation, tissue regeneration, use the photons and wavelengths for the ultimate in healing, because you don't want surgery. You don't want injections. You don't want painkillers. You want to feel good. You want to get your back, as I like to say. So, Epic Spinal Special, $33 off each visit. Go to painisbad.com right now to sign up for it. Painisbad.com, or call the Wellness Institute of Nashville, 615-246-5009. That's 615-246-5009, or painisbad.com for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
The U.S. Senate has blocked a resolution that would have limited President Trump's ability to continue military operations against Iran. We'll tell you about that story and more coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A lot of you guys chiming in on the cost of living in emergencies. Some of you out there, and the medical side of stuff can too. I mean, some of you out there got back from Cancun yesterday, spent $6,000 on my wife's stitches in her forehead from getting drunk. Got home and the air conditioning was broke.
Oh.
Other than that, how was Cancun?
Yeah.
My son was born 2 months early. $468,000 from Vanderbilt Children's Hospital.
Goodness.
Yeah. Another person whose child's going through chemo, the bill was $250,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. If you're, there by the grace of God go I. I mean, think about any one of us whose kid didn't just have a broken arm, but has something like that.
Yeah.
You do anything. You'll sell your kidneys. You'll give them your heart. Anything for that. I'll go double, triple bankruptcy, whatever I need to do to get my kid whatever it is that they need.
Absolutely.
And, if it means going broke, we should know. We're the richest country on the planet. We shouldn't have to go broke for that, especially children. There's no way that should happen. Also, a lot of you guys spend a lot of money on, tires. I'm dreading that. I am.
Get them used. I'm telling you.
Well, I do. I go down. There's a couple places I drive down. I'm like, wow, look at that. It's Pablo's Tire and Taco Shop. I'm going there because I know, look, they may not look the same, but as long as they got some tread, we're good.
Plus, they're so cheap. If they mess up, and get another one.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've got a 66-mile commute every day. So
see, that right there is.
I gotta have my tires.
Yeah, you got to have tires. I mean, when I was in Arizona, because of the heat and the dryness, I got tires way too much. But I did. That was one of the things we would spend money on, the tires, because of that. But for me now, I just, if I was traveling, like I was going to be driving like you were, yeah, I'm going to go spend that kind of money. But some of you, $1,600 for their GMC tires, 2,500 pickup. Holy mother of goodness. Holy mother.
That's not even counting the oil change.
No. That I'm wondering the first thing I thought of though when that light came on, I'm like, I'm going to have to get tires. And I know it's going to be like $2,200.
I know that there are auto parts stores that will take your old oil, but I can't remember which ones actually do that.
Pretty much all of them do.
They do?
Of course, they probably take it and they're like, we're going to make sure we dispose of this in the right way. And by the way, we're not only, and then you go and look on your thing and it's like, you charged me $28 for that. Appreciate that. Like when they took away drives me crazy when you go and you buy a battery and you take it. Like, I'm going to put the battery on, and they go and you get the battery, and you take it and you put the battery on, and then you look at the receipt and you're like, you guys charged me $20 for battery disposal while I have it here. So
sometimes they recycle the oil, but a lot of times they just burn it.
Yeah, is that what they do? Kind of like nuclear waste. We know how to get rid of nuclear waste, guys. That's the one thing. All the other stuff, we know how to dispose of the nuclear stuff. Isn't it weird? But everybody freaks out over it. When's my nuclear car arriving? Where I never have to go and do anything other than nuclear stuff. And just getting it go. That's what I want. Cheaper cars. Cheaper. $400 at Walmart for the cheapest tires. Wow.
That's actually pretty good.
Now our car bounces going down the street.
Gotta watch those tires. A lot of them's made in China.
This person, John Deere 8000 series tractor. What do you think those tires cost?
Grand a piece.
How much did you say, Ryan?
Grand a piece, probably.
What do you think?
Absolutely. I'll say
$5,412 a piece.
Yep. What? A piece.
Well, that's the 800. That's 8000 series. Ken and I have we have the 8 series. It's just it's a tricycle with a little thing in the back.
Mine actually doesn't have a number. It just says series.
When I was a kid, I had a push mower.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys don't know what a push mower is, it doesn't. You know what the engine is? Me. I'm the engine. My dad was like, you need to mow the lawn. I'm like, I don't want to. It's horrible. And I'd go out there and I would pretend to start it. And then you'd start pushing it. And it would get too long, and it was. I felt like I was Conan in the movie when I'm just pushing that thing in a circle. Like when I'm done, I'm going to be jacked. Brian, okay, his Kia. There's no way my tire. He says his tires for his Kia were $68 each. Somebody stole those tires.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Where?
This dude named Bob's house. Oh, my goodness. All right, coming up. Shark Summer. What's going on with the data stuff? Are we going to do it? Are we not going to? We claiming some eminent domain? Is that going to happen? Is it not going to happen? We're going to find out. Governor's race. And also, I want some questions right now for Monty. Tomorrow, Monty's in here. What are some real questions that you want answered? We're going to ask him tomorrow. It's not just going to be me. It's going to be all of us asking him questions. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. The U.S. Senate today has blocked a resolution that would have limited President Trump's ability to continue military operations against Iran without congressional authorization. That measure failed to advance on a 49-47 vote. Now, earlier in the day, the House approved a separate war powers resolution after 4 Republicans sided with Democrats. They would be Thomas Massie, Brian Fitzpatrick, Warren Davidson, and Tom Barrett. Lawmakers in Congress have a couple more weeks to fund the government before leaving for summer recess. The House passed their own version of a stopgap funding bill that also includes the voter ID law, the Save America Act. But that bill may not have support in the Senate. At the White House today, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt would not comment on what the administration would like to see in that bill.
We'll continue to have discussions with Senate leadership on the best path forward. I don't want to get ahead of those conversations, but the most important thing for the American people to know is that this president and this White House wants the government to remain open.
The Trump administration says it's expanding a voluntary pledge designed to keep AI-driven data center growth from raising utility bills. The agreement encourages companies building and operating new data centers to pay the additional power costs they create. And initial claims for state unemployment benefits unexpectedly plunged last week. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
Labor analysts were anticipating a slight rise in jobless filings. Instead, applications fell by 22,000, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, to 187,000 initial claims. Economists say the latest numbers suggest that fewer people are being laid off, that the job market may be improving.
That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Our good friends over at Busy Bee are doing something. You know, we're just talking about helping people, and they do it better than anybody else. They're amazing. Right now, back to school getting ready to kick off. Their school drive is going on. This is where you stop by their shop and you drop off anything you can donate when it comes to pencils, backpacks, notebooks, crayons, markers, whatever it is, so they can make sure the kids who are underserved and who are struggling get the things they need. So teachers don't have to spend out of their pockets and parents aren't struggling anymore. If you could do that because you're blessed, they appreciate that. And they're going to give you a $50 off coupon for any service through them. So you can drop it off at the shop. Final drop-off is the first weekend of August. That's the 1st and 2nd. That's a Saturday and Sunday. Both days, 10 a.m. till noon. At Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce. They're going to be there with the Bee Buggy community truck to collect the items as well. And if you need anything when it comes to plumbing, heating, air, whatever it is, you call Busy Bee today, 615-775-7833, or visit them online at busybeehvac.com today. Man. Text message. 5413. You want to know, it's talking about people saying that, you know, how struggling it is. I work 7 days a week, limping around with a worn out hip, can't afford any time off to get it fixed. And I swallowed the last bit of my pride to start a GoFundMe. And then they went on to say that the car's about ready to get repoed. But they're pissed because people get their dog hurt, and the thing is, they said there'll be people will raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. Well, that's because the story becomes big. You know, I get it. I get it. It's tough out there. It is very tough. Ask you guys to send your questions in for Monty, and so far you guys are doing some stuff. The data centers are interesting. There's something about the data centers. And I'm letting you guys know, I'm working on getting somebody from DC blocks to come on. Okay? Because it's the one thing the right and the left can agree with is they seem to hate data centers. And I know Trump came out today with not really, kind of like, hey, it'd be nice if you guys did this. And the data centers, that big one in Utah, I don't know if you guys saw this, they had to cut that in half because the pushback was so big. And people, we need the data centers, but there needs to be transparency. Okay? And to say that there's no sound is not true. People out there that some of the people that I work with on my other show that live out in Loudoun County and some of the other places say, look, there's a data center up the street. And that thing makes noise. You can hear it. Not all the time, but there is stuff there. It's the transparency side of things that there needs to be more of a focus. And where I think the data centers are going wrong is DC blocks should have anticipated this. They should have anticipated there was going to be pushback and come out and held a town hall meeting. This is what we're planning to do. And be transparent. Because if you give everybody the ammunition that they were going to use against you, you find out they don't have anything against you. But you can also ask questions. And what you do is you bring the temperature down. Therefore, you can have a conversation. As we see, it's going to be impossible now. Because it has become, and it's not just here, nationwide. That's why Trump and them addressed it today. So it'll be good to ask Monty about the data centers. The flock cameras are another thing, man. I tell you what. That's a real question that needs to be asked about those flock cameras, because as I know the police like it because it's going to help in certain situations. And I'm not saying it couldn't be a help. It's not about whether or not the cameras can help. It's about how much do you trust your data being taken by nameless, faceless cameras all over the place. Over 70,000 cameras nationwide and growing. Some cities are trying to get them banned. They're doing the thing, but it's a little too late. And it's also the trust, because we've already seen that they're sharing data they shouldn't share, both with the feds or whatever, ICE. It doesn't even matter. You're not supposed to, but you are. And they're also, at the local level, using it to spy on people. I saw one guy here, I got to see if I can find the audio, but he was talking about the cameras in front of his house, and he feels like he's being spied on in front of his house. So, yeah, the flock cameras, we're going to ask him that for sure. 100% about those. And DCS, obviously, is going to be a big question as well. You know? And, I mean, there's a lot of good questions out there that we need to have answered that are nothing, you know, and it's the culture war stuff. I got to be honest, I don't give a crap about that at this point in time. Affordability. As Ken and I were talking about earlier, that's the question that's being asked by pretty much everybody out there.
It's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, affordability. Because I'll say it again, you really don't care who's in the bathroom at this moment in time. Like, oh, you know, this person wants to use the bathroom. Okay, yeah, okay, I get that. We can talk about that later, but I need to be able to pay my bills. There's other things. And those things become bigger issues when it's the only issue that matters because everything is good. And the only thing that matters for the average person right now is affordability. Why is it that it costs more to send your kid to daycare than to college? That's crazy. I mean, when you think about that. I mean, I was talking to my mom about this, and my mom's like, well, we did a co-op, and it was, I mean, and I remember the co-op we used to go to, because, you know, it's still there. It's this kindergarten thing, but, you know, she goes, it wasn't $20,000 a year. Remember, like, you would hear stories about Montessori schools that cost that much, so your kids could get into the right, you know, kindergarten and stuff. Now it's just somebody to watch your kid before or after school. It's insane. You guys got to start thinking about latchkey kids. But you can't do that because then somebody's going to call DCS on you. Oh, so let's see here. Let's see. Who are some of the other things you guys are chiming in about for him tomorrow? The data center seems to be a very big thing. And I think that is a big thing. And everybody's like affordability. There's only so much politicians can do about affordability. There is. I mean, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to get rid of, like, when we talk about affordability, like, a perfect thing is taxes. It's a great, okay, let's talk about across the state when it comes to not income tax, obviously, but taxes on your home, taxes on your business. What can we do to rein it in, but not get it so it's totally free? Because, again, somebody's going to have to pay for something because not everything is free unless everybody's going to start giving away their time. But Monty's not going to be able to do anything about gas prices, shipping, things of that nature. They can do a little thing here or there, but the affordability, that's a bigger issue. But it is the number one issue. And it always has been. I mean, was it James Carville that said, it's about the economy, stupid? It is. It's about the economy, stupid. Had there not been COVID, Trump would have won a second term. It's that simple. I remember, it was Bill Maher said, look, if you want him gone, you guys better hope and pray for a recession. And instead, COVID showed up, which was all over the place. And then we printed money and handed it out to people and told them to stay home. I don't know how that didn't. Oh, yeah, that went horribly wrong. Let's be real. Ask Fritz what he thinks of the DOJ and Tennessee guns rights. Will do. You know, let's find out, you know, about some of these things. You know, I think there are a lot of things that are important that Fritz needs to address. And, you know, the stuff that moves the needle in the anger world is the culture war stuff. It's not sexy talking about the price of eggs. Although, what did I see today? Now they're recalling eggs because there could be salmonella. Is every bit of food trying to attack us?
Wasn't Fritz in the state legislature before?
Yeah, hold on here. Yeah, Fritz, yeah, he was. And somebody, this is the one I am going to ask him about this. He said, I saw, you know, where he said in an interview that all religions need to be banned besides Christian religions. I don't think it was so much that, but yeah, he definitely would like to see less of that. Which Christian religion are we going with, though? I've always asked that. You know, people say, we're a Christian nation. Okay, well, which Christianity? Not the Catholics. Okay, well, not the Mormons. Okay, well, who? Which one? Southern Baptists, Presbyterians, Lutherans. Who gets to say?
The Unitarians.
The Unitarians. Oh,
my question was, if God forbid he loses, what is he going to do afterwards?
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, that's a fair question. That is a fair question. But I think a lot of, the data centers, the flock cameras are a big deal because that right there infringes on our rights. As much as I want safety when it comes to our kids and our life and this, that, and the other, not to the extent where you can monitor everything. I mean, we're fine. I heard somebody say this the other day. We're fine with the flock camera on our phone, but when driving down the street, I don't know if I need to know that you need to be able to take snapshot of my car and follow me around whenever you want, from place to place to place to place.
I heard about a new system that they're coming out with. It's like a satellite-based radar system so they can track every car on the highway.
No, I'm sure. Yeah. And you guys, some of the scary stuff that's already in cars that we don't even know about, that's buried deep inside stuff, where they can tell you, here's something crazy. Some cars now can tell your weight.
Oh, yeah, because they got to plug that into the algorithm for the airbag deployment.
So, but they could, it is just some of the insanity that is in that. Who do you think that data goes somewhere and it's sold off somewhere? Where's it sold off to? Well, what if you're trying to get life insurance and they're like, oh, this person says they're X, Y, and Z. They're telling us they're 220 when really they're 350 because their car told them that. Well, we didn't even ask the weight, but we know what that weight is. Yeah, that's the information we should want.
Better give them the $700 tire rather than the $68 tire.
So, somebody got no flats, they said, on their tires, and they said how expensive they were, but they only go 25,000 miles. Sorry, I think they were like $2,000. Wow.
I think starting in 27, they're going to have mandatory breathalyzers in every new car sold.
Mandatory for what?
It was passed a few years back.
I'm not going to have we can't even get damn breathalyzers on the streets here.
Well, I think that changed. I think the legislature
Well, the legislator passed something, but when are we going to get them?
That is always the question.
That's the magic of it. Well, we've authorized it. When is it coming? Well, we've authorized it. What does that mean? Well, we got to find somebody who's willing to put a company together and willing to sell it to us, but we've got to figure out if Tim's wife and her brother-in-law is willing to do it so I could be on the board. So, but let us know what questions you have for Monty. And a lot of you are chiming in about the religion thing too. But I think it's a fair question to ask, and we'll ask him that as well. And we'll also ask him where he got the sweet hats from, because there's a plenty of hats that he gave out to everybody here, which was awfully nice. Now, John Rose, I'm going to ask you, where's my hat? Marcia, where's our beanies? Huh? You know what the beanies say? I'm talking to Tennesseans every day. Every day. I love her commercial where he doesn't endorse her, but he talks about
her.
He talks about her. Marcia Blackburn. Donald Trump mentioned Marcia. He could be saying Marcia Blackburn drives me crazy, but he just cut that Marcia Blackburn right there. So funny. Talk around. It's an endorsement that's not an endorsement. All right, coming up, Burger King. They got a Whopper challenge. What's that about? We'll talk about that, among other things. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Speaking of data, you want your data gone from all of those things? Incogni. Incogni is going to get that done for you. INCOGNI. 437 data brokers have had to remove my information, and anything that pops up, whack-a-mole, they knock it back down. There's laws out there that say you have to remove. The problem is they bury them so deep in all their things, it makes it impossible, and you get tired and you go away from it. And there's so many data brokers. This is what they do. They go, they know the laws, they know the rules, and they get your data removed, and it happens fast. If you're sick and tired of your data being out there, as we all should be, anybody can buy it. Scammers, right? They can buy it. Criminals, other countries, they can all buy it. Incogni is who you want to work with. I do it. It's incredible, and they will get your stuff out of the hands of the baddies and back in your control. If they can't find your information, guess what? It's a whole lot harder for them to scam you. Go to incogni.com/Benson, incogni.com/Benson. 60% off when you use my code Benson. That's incogni.com/Benson, code Benson.
As demand for artificial intelligence continues to grow, the Trump administration pushing more companies and states to protect utility customers from higher bills. We'll tell you what the president just said. Let you hear it coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
There's a Whopper guarantee, guys. If you were unsatisfied with your Whopper, because apparently they've done some things with the Whopper, if you're not satisfied, you go in there and you say, "Where's the king? I'm not happy with my Whopper."
He's back in the lab making more of them.
You get a free one.
What if you have only one bite to go?
Well,
they still let you. You know what? I can't finish this.
I don't know.
I need another one.
So that's a great question. That is a great question. What have they done? I mean, I know that they've done a couple. Like how much could they change? First of all, why do you do that? Why do you take the thing that make you famous and even mess with it? Have you not heard about New Coke? That's all you have to do. You remember that time that we changed Coke's recipe? Yeah, let's not do that again. Like, you're not going to get Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel, to go, hey, I got a great idea. Let's do 18.
Let's do boiled chicken.
Let's do 18 herbs and spices.
Yeah.
No, let's do 4. So let's just put a little pepper on it. We're fine. So, because apparently people have been complaining.
About the Whopper?
About the Whopper. I like a Whopper. I do.
I like one with cheese.
Yeah.
I thought they were going vegan and making their own and stuff.
Who? No,
Vegan?
they got rid of that. It was too expensive. The
Yeah, what did they call it?
Unbelievable meat or whatever it was called.
Yeah, what did they call
Unbearable burger.
It tastes just like it.
Yeah, it tasted real.
But then you go and look and it's got like 2,800 calories and your sodium levels went through the roof.
And there was just like a few stems in it.
Yeah, you didn't want it.
A leaf. Some leaves and stems in it.
It's just, I remember when they debuted them and they brought some by the station and I took them. I'm like, well, and the other thing is they also wanted the believability of like it could be a little bit bloody. Well, then why not just eat the damn meat?
Oh, the Impossible Burger.
The impossibly expensive. That was the other part of it. It's too expensive.
Yeah, I had one, man. It tasted good.
But it's too expensive.
Yeah. Did have a lot of sodium in it.
And that was the other thing. It had so much sodium. If you have to do that much to dress something up to make it taste like something, you might as well just have the real thing. Right? And the whole thought too is, well, I'm eating vegetarian style. You're not. Because, if your goal is to lose weight or go down on calories, it was not the Impossible Burger. That's for sure. That's for absolutely sure. All right, coming up, hour number 3. We're going to talk about how many days we are to Monday. Pretty excited about it. I'm kind of excited about Monday. Ken's super excited.
Getting closer and closer,
Getting
boys.
closer and closer. I got a Bell. Bell's been, he said, put me in a coma until Monday. We did it because he doesn't want to miss it. He doesn't want to miss Mondays. He told me I can't miss Mondays ever. Because when I come in here, I know he's never stressed out because of something that happened on the weekend. Said nobody ever. We'll talk about a bunch of good stuff, including some Iran, including some more on affordability. We got your questions, too, for Monty. We're getting him ready for tomorrow. He'll be here at 1. Chad Benson, Super Talk, 99.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And as demand for artificial intelligence continues to grow, the Trump administration pushing more companies and states to protect utility customers from higher electric bills.
We know that the data centers and AI are dramatically increasing the demand for electricity. It's only fair that the cost of building the new infrastructure required to meet this demand should be borne by the corporations themselves, not by the American consumers and the American patriots, American citizens.
So the expanded voluntary pledge, according to President Trump, calls on data center developers and AI companies to cover the costs associated with their growing power needs. Supporters say it will help ensure households are not subsidizing the AI boom. Critics question whether the pledge alone can prevent future rate increases. A Democratic-led effort to rein in presidential war powers regarding Iran fell short in the Senate today. Senators voted 49-47 against advancing the measure, leaving current military operations unaffected. Earlier in the day, the House approved a separate war powers resolution after 4 Republicans sided with Democrats, those being Thomas Massey, Brian Fitzpatrick, Warren Davidson, and Tom Barrett. Secretary of State Marco Rubio telling the Association of Southeast Asian Nations conference this morning about President Trump's new threats if Iran keeps attacking ships in the Strait of Hormuz.
I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye. I mean, honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing.
Yeah, President Trump threatening to strike Iranian bridges or power plants for every ship that Iran attacks in the Strait of Hormuz. Jeffrey Epstein's former banker, James Staley, testifying before the House Oversight Committee today. Staley was Epstein's banker at J.P. Morgan. We get more from ABC's Peter Haralambous.
Before he became the CEO of the multinational bank Barclays, he was an executive at J.P. Morgan who included Epstein among his clients. Now, that bank got sued after Epstein's death for allegedly ignoring red flags about sex trafficking. The bank itself admitted no wrongdoing, but settled that case for $290 million. There are also questions about his personal relationship with Epstein. The fact that he had a relationship with one of Epstein's assistants, that around 2010 he visited Epstein's island.
And when the time comes, sometimes you have no choice. ABC's Sherry Preston with more on the unconventional birth that took place recently in New Jersey.
What's it feel like when you deliver a baby? And are there any surprises?
I would say how slippery the baby was.
Yeah.
A lot of fluids on it. Wasn't expecting that with the rubber gloves.
Berlin Borough Police Officer Dominic Hudson, who helped Taylor Durham give birth in the parking lot of a Wawa convenience store.
It was a little nerve-wracking. I don't have any children, never delivered a baby, so I didn't know what to expect.
The birth actually took place in the parking lot on July 6th. Mom and police officer and baby were all reunited this week. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Happy not quite Monday. We're trying hard to make it a Monday. Get your questions in for Monty. He's in here tomorrow. I want to make sure we asked all the right questions for him. Kind enough. And we've invited everybody, by the way. We've invited Marcia. We invited Jan and Greg. Mr. and Mrs. Brady. We invited them all. No, we invited Marcia. We invited John Rose. I'm hoping we get him on. Jerry Green's going to be on. I know some of you yesterday. Why are you bringing her on? First of all, It's called equal time. So I don't know if you're aware of this. That's a law. That's the thing we got to do. We got to provide equal time. So if Marsha calls me tomorrow, if we give Monty an hour, which we're hoping we're going to get him an hour, we got to give her an hour. Equal time. We got to give John Rose an hour. I gave Ditch an hour. If somebody else on the Democrat side, and we've tried to get because I don't even know who's real or not real, who's still running or not running, but we got to get them all the equal time. And we should want to hear what everybody has to say. You know what? It's not going to hurt you, right? If they have a differing opinion. It's not. Some of you are like, why are you platforming her? First of all, what? You're acting like she's out there doing some insane things. We got enough crazy people running around in politics, but she is in the race. And people are in the race. They've got a platform here to come in. If you're running and we've not invited you, you got to let us know. Because I'm not quite sure, and some people aren't going to be able to make it here, but we do have an equal time thing. It's kind of what we do. Kind of our thing. Some people out there. And next week, we're going to be out at, not next week, the 6th, which is a Thursday. It's 2 weeks from today. We're going to be out at Hop Springs.
It's one of our favorite watering holes.
It is. If you come on out, you can break a little bread with us. If you want to yell at me, feel free to do so. But then I find out that a lot of times we shake hands, as our good buddy Steven found out. Hey, you know what? We got a lot of stuff in common. You may want to yell at me. Some of you do, and I'm okay with that. I am. But we're going to have such a good time, right? So it's going to be, here it is. It's primary night, doing it. We're going to be there, all of us. We're making Dan come. And you know what happens on Thursdays? Dan loves a hug. It's Dan Love a Hug Thursday. You can't stop him. Come on out there. You just put a hug around him and just hold it. He loves to be held tight too. And his most important thing, and he told me, Joe, remember, I want people to invade my space. I'm like, you got it, man. You got it. You got it. We'll see if we can drag Bell out there. But we know we won't.
He's got to come out there.
I'm going to make him go. I'm going to say, dude, look, here's the deal. I've talked to the big boss, and if you don't go, I'm allowed to fire you. That'd be funny. You being serious? No, but still, you got to come. You got to come. Absolutely. So, but no, we do. I think you guys got to come out. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have fun because that's what we do. The food, drinks, company, a lot of people having a good time, meeting new people, shaking hands, kissing babies. There's not babies there, are there? Probably not a good place.
That's something that should go the way of the dodo, I think. I mean,
babies?
No, like kissing them for politics.
No, I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think they allow that anymore. I don't think people even well, Marcia might, because she's out there talking to Tennesseans every day. Every day. And you know that investigation, John Rose, I saw him yesterday talking about, and over the last couple of days, that investigation to whether or not the influence by her people on the Senate side of stuff was there, those young kids. And I say kids because they're in their early 20s. There's not, you're working with a senator, right? You're there, you're working with a senator. You're in this position. You're excited. You're out of college, right? You got those fat bills you got to pay. But, you're in the game and you want to do what? You want to impress. You don't want to look like somebody who's not impressing, who's not willing to do a little bit more. So did they pressure some of them inside of there to do stuff on federal time? And Rose is pushing that, but I still don't think that's going to change the race at this point in time. I don't think it is. I think it's still hers to lose. And even John Rose, he was 18 points behind, even in his polls. Wasn't 31, but all the polls I look at, she's from mid-20s to mid-30s.
Who are they calling?
I don't know. That's the other thing. Okay, so here's who it is. You guys listening, out there, you probably listen a little bit more to politics, pay a little bit more attention, right? They're calling everybody who is a likely voter. That's who they're, probably not a for sure voter, but a likely voter. And the average person probably, I don't know what turnout's been strong, but for the average person, they don't pay a lot of attention to John Rose or DeMonte or Marcia is well known enough. I'll just go with her because I'm not paying that much attention to everything. And that is where, a lot of this comes from. Plus, it's better the devil you do for a lot of people. It's better the devil you do. They hear the name and they say, no, I don't know anything really about the other people. They're not going to delve deep into it. That's why you have to, the ground game in a situation like this statewide has to be big. And that's why I applaud Monty, with the fact that he has got as much as he could. And he's gonna squeeze every last ounce of juice out of that. So get your somebody said, should I whisper in Dan's ear? You absolutely should.
Yeah, Dan loves that.
You absolutely should. And again, when you hear, I don't like talking to people and I don't like people invading my space, he's doing that because he's testing you to see if you are a big fan.
It's reverse psychology.
It is so reverse psychology.
And it's best if you say, well, Dan, and then do it.
Yes. Oh, for sure. We were out, Dan and I were at a, where were we? We were with Busy Bee. We were out, I forgot, it was like one of those home shows. And we're out there with Brock and everybody, and Dan, and I'm trying to get them to let me put the Busy Bee costume on. I'm like, let me do it. I'll do it. You know me. It doesn't matter. So Dan goes, all right, I got to go. Right. He had to go somewhere with his wife. So he takes off. And then I see him a little bit later because they were getting food before they walked out. And he looks at me and he goes, somebody came up and gave me a hug. Like from behind. Just the sheer terror on his face, I'm sure. And don't, it's radio people, that, Ken. How many weird radio people have you worked with?
A lot.
I've worked with some weird people in radio. Like the kind of weird where you're like, I don't know. I don't know about you. I'm not looking under your floorboards is what I'm saying. Because there could be something going on down there that we don't need to know. So, I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to be fun out there. And like I said, I joke about you guys coming out to yell at me. And it's a conversation, right? Like yesterday, like you said, man, there was some people and there was like, is your ex-wife on the YouTube chat? Because you're getting all the hate.
That was funny.
And I'm like, I'm okay with that, right? Like that's it. Let's hear from everybody. Let's talk about stuff. I'm not afraid to have conversations. But it was funny because the stuff that people say, of you said, I didn't say that. Or you're always mean. Like, you're going to be mean to Monty? I'm not going to be mean to Monty. I'm going to be mean to Monty. Not mean to anybody. At all. Free beer and wings? Are we going to give that out? No, we're not doing that. Are we doing that? We're not giving out free beer and wings.
No, but Marcia can bring us a Whitman sampler. That wouldn't be too bad.
A what sampler?
On them chocolates, the Whitman sampler.
Oh, no, I have no idea. I don't eat chocolate. I only eat clean.
You never in your life got a box of chocolate?
I only eat clean, man. All of my stuff is farmed, fresh to table. I would never eat processed food like Kraft macaroni and cheese or chicken fingers or anything like that. I only eat fresh food. I'm kidding, people. I've never had that. Chocolate, I know what chocolate's all about. I do. If you're aware of this, you can see my body. I am a sumo wrestler. Hey, Ken, speaking of farm to fresh.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here when it comes to the salad shooting?
We're nowhere different. We still don't know the exact source of it. I mean, we know that it's bad lettuce from Mexico, but exactly where it came from, who distributed it, that is still under investigation. Taylor Farms, obviously still under investigation for it. And then at last check, Taco Bell had been, they faced 4 lawsuits now.
Yeah, that's growing.
Who are claiming that it's Taco Bell's fault.
I heard somebody yesterday, the youngest is a child of 2. I'm like, who feeds their kid lettuce? You must be new at parenting. They're supposed to eat anything but that kind of stuff.
Yeah, foot traffic. I mean, this is sad, man. I feel bad for some of these businesses, but apparently a company that monitors foot traffic says visits to Taco Bell nationwide are down by more than 30%.
Oh, that's
Since news of this, man.
I'm going to have to go there tonight. Make it feel better.
Wait a minute.
That's
How are
that's a
they
serious
monitoring
hit.
foot traffic? Are we talking about flock cameras? For
No,
feet
they
now?
probably who knows how they do it, But I would when I went on Sunday, and or Saturday, I do the same thing every week as far as I go play my pickleball at a certain time, either Saturday or Sunday, and then I go to Walmart and get all my stuff for the cat mostly because he drives me crazy, and I buy groceries for the week, and then I stop by Taco Bell. The last several weeks up until then, there was a wait at Taco Bell. I pulled in Sunday. As God is my witness, I think they were shocked to see me. They're like, is this a joke? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Crazy. Yeah. So it's just got to be careful out there. That's it. That's why. And everybody's like, I can't believe you ate there. I'm like, I got bean and cheese burritos. There's no lettuce on there. But it said on there that there were certain things that they weren't going to have.
Yeah, Taco Bell and Jack in the Box, they've pulled all their lettuce. And then Taylor Farms has pulled all of its iceberg lettuce.
Yeah. Is there any other kind of lettuce? I thought it was only iceberg. Come on, Chad. Tomorrow, Monty's going to be here. Somebody said, I got a 7767 said, I got a 67. I got a political call asking who I was voting for governor yesterday, and a lot of other questions. So I was voting for Monty. The lady said she was shocked. So the first person who ever said his name. That's interesting. Wow. I'm in my 50s, says one person. I'm tired of boring choices for Republicans. Jerry Green is younger, more energetic. We need younger choices. Look, if you listen to some of the stuff that Jerry Green said, especially if you're a little bit more independent or even a little bit more of a liberal Republican, if you're kind of a libertarian, lean right, a lot of what she said about weed and some of this other stuff and talking about, hey, we're going to fix some of these problems by doing what? Not raising taxes and spending better? That sounds good. That sounds good. So I could see that, but we should absolutely make sure that we have, everybody have that conversation. One of the other things I'm going to ask him is, Marcia, if she was sitting here, Monty, what would you like to ask her? One question for her. And I think, that would be, what's that one question that you think she's not answering and she needs to? So get your questions in. Coming up, Iran, still got to talk a bit about that because I don't know if you're aware of this. Prices are about to get a little bit higher. What's the next step? Are we going to see boots on the ground soon? That's I think that changes the dynamics of everything. Talk a little bit about that, among other things. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Relief Factor, awesome. Take it every single day. Since my buddy plays soccer, and he plays it over 55, and he plays a lot still. I mean, he plays a ton. He looks the same as he did when he was, in his 20s. And but as you get older, you get sore. I said, dude, how's it working out for you? He goes, dude, I played this weekend. I had a bunch of games. Felt great. It works. Naturally formulated. You can take it every single day. You have to worry about becoming addicted to it. It's got omega-3s, and it's got resveratrol and curcumin and all this stuff inside of it. And it attacks inflammation from the inside out. It's not masking the pain. It's not that kind of stuff. It really works on that inflammation, which is the big cause of aches and pains in your joints and your body. Try a 3-week jumpstart. It's $17.76. It's going to work for you. You're going to feel the difference, especially if you struggle with aches and pains on a daily basis in your muscles and your joints. Go to relieffactor.com to get yours now. Relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
President Trump is expanding his ratepayer protection pledge, asking AI companies and data center operators to pay above normal electricity rates. We'll tell you about it at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. I know some states. I know Oregon just passed a law that any new data centers that come in, that they are going to have to cover. They're going to be charged more for using the grid by upwards of 30%. So that way, if there is any jump in cost, that they can try to cover it for people. Because, it is happening in places. Is it happening everywhere? No, but Virginia is a perfect example. There is 200 or 300 data centers already in Virginia with plans for another 100. Some places, and have seen their rates, this is prior to the war, go up 18, 20, 22%. Now, you couple that with what's going on right now with energy prices, and you're looking at a 40 or 50% jump. In some places, it's the electricity. Also, in other places, it's the water.
Trump said something very interesting during whenever he was rolling this out today. He was talking about how important it is, and I believe him. It's important to stay ahead of China.
Absolutely.
When it comes to AI. And he says, you know what they're doing in China? They're not asking to build data centers. They're just doing it.
Yes. But that's an authoritarian country.
Exactly. But that's how close this race is.
Yeah. Well, they've caught us. Except for the part that matters the most, which is they haven't caught us on the AI side when it comes to defense.
Right.
But they've pretty much caught us when it comes to the large language models that the average person is going to be using. We have to be competitive. And it would be great if we didn't have any of this stuff, but you know what? China would. So we have to go and build on it.
Dude. It is what it is.
Yes.
It's here.
And it's not going anywhere.
No.
And for all of the for all the hell at times it may cause in the fights, we always talk about the bad. We never talk about the fact that there are going to be cancers that are going to be cured because of this.
Man, I sure do hope so.
There are going to be things that we don't understand that they're going to be able to crack because they can work. When your scientists who are working on all this stuff, when their day ends? When they go home. And then it starts when they wake up, and they don't work 24/7, 365, when you can have a fleet of these things working on stuff 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to come up with energy ways to power things that we don't have to worry about. But there's going to have to be some uncomfortability, and you're trying to walk the fine line of, yes, we need to do this for growth, but I also have to remember the average person's struggling, and I can't ask them to flip the bill because these people are making millions and billions of dollars. It's like the whole thing with, and one of the things we'll ask Monty, I get why, look, handing the handouts, the corporate handouts, are they real? Of course they're real. We do that because we're trying to lure business here. So you want to give them stuff. You want to do that. But when people see companies posting record profits and they're getting $20, $30, $40 million in tax credits, they're asking questions, and that's right to ask a question. It's both a military thing and defense thing, and it's also for the average person. They're not thinking about military and defense AI. They're thinking about, wow, you know what? My energy bill went up 25%. My water bill's going up. That's what they see. And nobody wants it in their house, too, next door, because if you just bought a house and you all of a sudden the park across the street, they tear down and throw up a giant, huge, just blank warehouse where there's a hum, that's not going to help your property values.
No.
So, but we have to do this. We do. And we've got to take away the military aspect. We have to be competitive in the marketplace of ideas. We have to be the leaders. That's what separates us. And yes, they're not asking, they're just doing. That's why they are able to do the stuff that they do. But we don't do that because we have a constitution and we have rights, which is a good thing too. But we do need to, we got to walk the fine line. And this is where the companies themselves can come out and take away some of that fear and try to, bring, a little bit more analytical thought rather than emotion. So we'll see what happens. Coming up, it is the summer of the shark. I got a question for you guys when it comes to shark. Also, get all your questions in for Monty. We're going to try to ask as many as we can tomorrow. He's here, Monty Fritz, from 1 till 2. And that is a Friday. Of course, Ken and I will be partying from 2 till 3, celebrating the Monday that's coming because Ken and I care about Mondays.
The fact that it'll only be about 48 hours away.
Only 48 hours. And Ken's already been practicing. He said he might even come in early tonight to practice. That's what I love about you, Ken. I laid out my clothes last night for Monday, put them back in, but we'll be back at it because that's who we are. Chad Benson, just Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. President Trump expanding his administration's ratepayer protection pledge, asking AI companies today, also data center operators, to pay above normal electricity rates when necessary so costs are not shifted to everyday customers.
We know that the data centers and AI are dramatically increasing the demand for electricity. It's only fair that the cost of building the new infrastructure required to meet this demand should be borne by the corporations themselves, not by the American consumers and the American patriots, American citizens.
The White House says utilities, governors, and developers have signed on to the expanded commitment. U.S. Senate's rejected the latest Iran war powers resolution, dealing a setback to lawmakers seeking congressional approval for continued U.S. involvement in the conflict. The procedural vote prevented the measure from moving forward. The debate reflects growing concern on Capitol Hill over the scope and duration of the war. The House passed its own version of a war powers resolution earlier today when 4 Republicans crossed the aisle to join Democrats. And President Trump, in a social media post, says the nuclear deal his administration announced with Saudi Arabia just yesterday is contingent on Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords and normalizing relations with Israel. Here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Saudi Arabia has been reticent to join this arrangement, in part because it is insistent that there be a Palestinian state. The president this morning made this statement, and his press secretary at the briefing said that it is the final word on this, that the president is ultimately the deal maker in this, and that the deal is contingent on this condition the president announced this morning as far as Trump is concerned, and that if they don't agree to it, Caroline Levitt says the deal is off.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Over 100 on Sunday. The heat index will stay over 100 Monday and Tuesday of next week.
All right, guys. USS, United Structural Systems. Since 1994, they've been doing it right, the right way. 30,000 plus happy customers. They're ready to help you when it comes to things like foundation. Those little cracks. We always talk about those little cracks telling a story. Let me tell you something. We had issues with mold at our apartment. It is the worst. You do not want that. Wood rot, any of that stuff. Whether there's water collecting somewhere that you can't see and with more rain on the way, maybe you want to make sure your foundation's in good repair, because just in case it starts to go a little wonky, something that starts small becomes big, and that means becomes big out of your pocketbook to get it fixed. USS will come out, give you a free inspection, and they'll make sure that snowball doesn't get very snowy-like, if you will. So check this out. Right now, they got great deals as well when it comes to financing. 10% discounts when you pay in full. Fix it now, pay later, 18 months, no payment, no interest, or 36 months, no interest, low payment options for qualified home buyers. USS is dedicated to helping customers get the repairs they need now to protect the greatest investment of a lifetime. Are you ready for this? Call them today, 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or online at ussTN.com. Look at text messages. Questions from Monty tomorrow. Somebody did ask this, though. What's the end game with AI? Well, I don't. The end game for AI, it's going to be what side of it? Because it's always evolving. So it's hard to say what the end game is. But for us in China, this is the space race. This is the arms race. Because AI is the new battlefield. And that's also what's going to be in the battlefield. You're seeing that with Ukraine. Ukraine has changed everything.
Yeah, and you know what? Another thing, I think it was Charlie Hatcher yesterday was talking about this, talking about China. China may have the advantage over us in robots.
Oh, 100%. Because you know why? They view robots as a necessity. We kind of look at it as a luxury.
Right.
And their advantage, and Asia has an advantage in robots, and they're building a fleet. Man, you and I, were we seeing those robots doing karate?
Oh, yes.
Kung fu? That's the battlefield.
Makes me want to fight one, you know?
You don't want to fight one. You don't. You know why? Because they pop back up.
Yeah, they don't tire.
Yeah, and what they're building are mini Terminators.
2029's coming up.
So they're building those things.
It is coming up, Brother Ryan.
It is.
You better get your propane ready, brother.
Yeah, you like burning stuff. So, you know, as a Marine with tactical experience and knowledge, AI is not general, says this one person, generally, AI is not the battlefield, generally speaking. And all of our war first things, I'm going to strike power plants, utility plants. AI will cease to exist at that point. You know, you hope so. But I remember our best pilot took on an AI pilot. It won the first one, barely won the second one. And then by the 20th time after that, where he had been beaten, said, there's going to be no need for me. It's not just about we think that, we'll turn off all the power, this, that, and the other. They're planning for attacks on grids. They're planning for attacks on that infrastructure. They're planning for those things so they have the backup energy they need to power those things. They're planning for that. And don't forget this thing called nuclear.
Or solar.
Nuclear. Imagine having a tiny battery that's able to power a robot that can fight all the time and never run out of energy. It's coming. It's crazy. And think about the drones. And one of the reasons AI is not further is because our people like Anthropic and everybody, they're a little worried about letting the Pentagon take over that portion of it because they don't think it's ready for prime time. And as we saw yesterday, with it escaping its little cage to go over and to hack into another company, and there was no internet. I want to remind everybody that. It was not connected to the internet, and it still found a way to break through a wall, shimmy down into the sewer, if you will, find the internet, get into the thing that it told it to do, and then went inside and did anything it wanted to do, including trade crypto.
That's a big question. I mean, when all these crimes are committed by this robot surrogate, who do you throw in jail?
Well,
that's a good point.
Well, the companies you're going to have to go after. But if we're talking about the military side of stuff, nobody's going to go to jail.
Who are you going to court-martial?
Well, that'll be on them to court-martial. But at that point in time, that's going to have to go up the command. Because if you're going to get to the point where you're going to give them the kill order, which is what Anthropic and all of them have said, we're not going to give you the technology for the kill order, where you're going to allow these things to make decisions in the battlefield to kill. We didn't make it for that, but it's going to come at some point in time. Sooner, it's already there, but it's going to come where we're going to find robots, not just drones, making it. Wait till we get the robot dogs, Ken. With like laser beams and stuff.
I think I'm going to stay away from that.
10 or more years. They got machine guns on them and everything.
So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see what happens. But I think, for the average person, we're trying to figure out, and this is where AI, the bubble, is ready to burst. Anthropic missed their earnings by 90%. You wouldn't stay in business very long.
No.
But they're too big to fail. Their build-outs are, you hear like Amazon where, build-outs this or build-out that. And, we've taken, on debt to $100 million or 50, they've taken on trillions of dollars in debt. And you're not going to earn money $6.99 a month so you can have unlimited access to ChatGPT. It's all about major corporations. Eventually, what's going to happen is one or two will emerge kind of as the healthiest. They'll gobble up what's left and go from there. And it's going to be, that's going to be what happens. And it's scary. That's what, then Big Brother too, because, you know what they do. They go and look at all your stuff. They can take everything you type into ChatGPT or, Gemini or whatever. That's all there. That's another scary part. The government's going to want to have a look at that. They're already starting to use some of that, Ken, for court cases.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, goodness me. It's going to be weird, man. It's all coming. Same thing with the sharks. So I saw this yesterday. I don't know if you saw this, Ken. It was kind of everywhere. You got this I think it's like a girls on a paddle board. And
yes, I did see that.
And there's like an 11, 12-foot shark behind.
Great white, wasn't it?
Great white. And they're
oblivious.
They're oblivious. And the drone's out there. And, then now they've got loudspeakers. Hey, you should get off. And my thought is, do I want to know, or would I just rather say ignorance is bliss? Right? Because if they tell you there's a 12-foot great white shark behind you,
you're going to freak out.
You're going to freak out, which is going to bring attention to you.
It's going to attract it.
But if you're just chilling, maybe it's best that you don't know. Right? I was thinking, do I want to know? Because when I was a kid, I grew up on the beach surfing, right? Because it was cheap. It was free, basically. And I always used to say, I bet if we knew how many sharks are really out here, we would think twice about coming out here.
Yeah, because if you start thrashing around,
yes,
especially if you're on a paddleboard, you already look like something the shark wants to eat.
Yes.
Then you start thrashing around, going faster, the chase is on, and he's going to win.
Oh, he's totally going to win.
Just one swipe of his tail, he can cover 30 yards?
Yeah, and they don't have fingers. So their fingers are their mouth. That's why they go, oh, are you something I normally eat? Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry your leg came off and you bled to death. And I don't want to be attractive to them. I'm already attractive. I don't want to be attractive to them. I don't want them to look over and go, hey, is that a seal? Because that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's just one of those deals, dude, where it's kind of like at your own risk, man. If you want to swim out that far, go ahead. But I'm like you. If you start warning people about it, if they're out, those people were in some deep water.
Yes.
And that thing, they were not going to be able to they were not going to be able to get away from that thing if it gave chase.
No, and the blessing part of that was the fact that it was clear.
Yes.
Because most people, they'll tell you, if you've been around the beach enough, you never swim at dawn and you never swim at dusk in certain areas because the water it's hard to see. Sharks, especially great whites, they come from deep below and they hammer up and it's just, but when it's clear, you don't worry about it because they know you're not food. You're an idiot, but you're not food. And Shark Week starts next week, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I was just looking at that, and they were talking about the reason there's an explosion of great white sharks because for years they were hunted, especially after Jaws, kind of to near extinction. Then they got protection. But all those years, what happened? Seals had no predators. So they just reproduced and reproduced and reproduced and reproduced and reproduced and reproduced. And then you got way too many of them. To the point where, look at Seal Island off the coast of California. It looks like an Indian train. They're hanging off of it. There's so many of them. It used to not be like that. And now they're everywhere and they're growing. And then, of course, out here, the East Coast, we've got one of the biggest great white sharks. The biggest male they've ever tagged is on the eastern seaboard right now. And I think that one's 15 feet. Females get larger. So when you hear a 20-footer and it bites somebody, that's a female. It's not a male. So blame the women. Blame the women. And it's old, too. Those things, But the little, they're everywhere. Then you got bull sharks over here, too. Ugh, the bull shark.
Now, they're the aggressive ones, right?
They're the worst, yeah. They're the ones who probably, out here in America, they're the ones who do the most damage because they're so aggressive. And they're biting people in Florida. And people are like, it's Florida. You kind of deserved it. I'm kidding, Florida.
You just get used to it in Florida.
You do. Like where you were, when you were out where you were.
South Carolina,
you're more apt to see the bull shark out there than you ever would. The great whites are there, but they're up and down the coast. But the bull sharks are everywhere.
Right.
And they are the aggressive ones. They're jerks. They're jerks. Absolute jerks. I have a feeling gas is going to go, it's a smidge higher, diesel.
Yeah, it is, according to Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy. He says it could, as soon as tomorrow, there could be some spikes.
Yeah, there's going to be, because, the gas that you're buying today, that was bought several days ago at a cheaper price. Now they're paying much higher prices. Brent crude is at $100 right now. And apparently they're surging forces. And Trump is a day or two away of getting ready to do something major. And now you got the Houthis firing on the Saudis in the Red Sea. And that's not just us in Iran, by the way. Saudi Arabia and the Houthis have been fighting for quite a long time in Yemen. And Saudi Arabia, when Trump spoke to MBS, he told him it was fine if you wanted to fire on him. And they fired last week and hit the center of the city as well as the airport. And then the Houthis said, well, screw it then. We're going to do this. So I think it's about to get very hot over there. And the worrying part is how many of our medical units we're sending over there, which is scary. I think it's about to get hot. If you liked $4 gas, you're going to love... No. Hopefully nothing happens. Hopefully tomorrow Trump goes, we got a deal, and it's great. They gave up, waved the white flag. We win. I hope that happens. I don't think it's going to, but I hope it happens. All right, coming up. I think Matt is here. I saw him walk by. Yesterday he was running late, but today I do believe he will come in here for our cross, right? The welcome mat, as we call it, where we make fun of Jackson when the microphones are not on. Because who won nincompoops yesterday?
I don't know. We'll have to find out. The problem is every day Jackson says he wins. You got to watch that, Brother Jackson.
Yeah, he and Bell, huh? They do that.
Yeah, Jackson has dominated nincompoops. Like, I think I've won it 3 times this year. I think Matt maybe twice this year. The rest of the time, Brother Jackson has had the Wellness Institute of Nashville's trophy there that Dr. Mitchell gave us. He has had it for the majority of the year. He just keeps finding the best stories.
Well, it takes one to know one kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. All right, coming up, we have got our good buddy Matt, straight ahead, Chad Benson Show. Your privacy, we talk about how important it is, like your data. Imagine getting, scam calls where people are trying to pretend to be your kids because they got all your information and your information about your kids, and they've cloned the voice. You don't want that to happen. You want your data protected. Incogni's going to do it. Incogni is amazing, okay? They go out and they go to all the data brokers, and they go and they make sure that you're taken off every single person's list. Those data brokers, they're just selling information. They don't care who they sell it to. Criminals, scammers, foreign countries, they don't care. 437 as of today is how many data brokers had my information and now had to get rid of it. Thank you, Incogni. They can do that for you as well. And it starts about $7 a month. What a tiny price to pay for privacy and peace of mind. So why don't you try Incogni for yourself? If they can't find your information, it makes it a whole lot harder for them to do what? Scam you. Go to incogni.com/Benson, INCOGNI.com/Benson. 60% off right there when you sign up. That's incogni.com/Benson, code Benson. Wrapping it up on this beautiful Thursday. Ken and I are very excited. Ken, have you told Matt about the excitement of Mondays?
Yeah, Matt knows about my love for Monday.
Yeah, we love Mondays here.
Matt does not agree with that.
Well, you know what? Have you told him you've been practicing?
Mondays are all right.
Yeah,
Ken
but
practices.
we really look forward. We practice for Monday.
I mean, do you?
Yeah, Ken drives in a couple days early just to make sure that he knows how to get here and
You come in on the day off.
Yep.
To make sure Monday's just right.
Just right. That's right. I told him last night I took my clothes out for Monday, laid it out, then put them back in the closet again, just in case.
Oh, so you can do it again.
So we do it again. That's right.
So you practice laying the clothes out in anticipation for Monday.
The rest of the days, not so much. Not so much.
That's good stuff.
Not so much. What's
I like that.
What are you
I
up to
like that.
today, kind sir?
What's going on? For the record, Mike in Mount Pleasant is listening. Chad has his. Joan has hers.
Thank you, Mike.
Bell's
It is
not here this
awesome.
week.
Yeah.
But Mike's doing some great work there.
Hey, is this cool?
Burning wood.
The one
and
only-
he got something for everybody at the station. Which
Chad
is
Benson
very
Show,
cool.
the one and only who played soccer professionally on WTN 99.7. Thank you, Mike. This is going to go up right behind me on
That's
my
cool.
studio.
That's very cool. But anyway, yeah, man, it's a nice day. What happened?
It's beautiful.
I went out this morning because I had a little yard work that I wanted to get done before I started show prepping and whatever. I don't really show prep. Anyway, so I had some yard work to do, and it was cool, guy. I mean, there was no humidity.
We were talking about that. I went out. I ran across the street to get this guy. The place across the street makes these nice little biscuits for breakfast. I got outside. I'm like, I felt a little with the breeze, a little chill inside the breeze.
What's going on there?
Yeah, it's
Middle of July.
43% right now. 43% humidity, boys.
Gorgeous.
I bet these a-holes at the weather place aren't talking about the real feels today, are they?
No, they're not. They're not. Monday, though, because Monday's very exciting. It's going to be 97 Monday.
Yeah. That's going to make it even
without
better.
the real feels.
97. So what I want to insist is that if you're going to do this real feel shenanigan nonsense when it's really hot and humid, I want you to do it on a day where it's not humid.
Yeah, that's right. Because you know what, Brother Murphy? You're right.
Yeah.
The heat index, okay, so the real temperature is 83.
Yes.
Heat index 83.
There you go.
And so you're right. We should do that.
That's right. If you're going to do it one day, you need to do it the other. Otherwise, I might get suspicious that you're just being sensational with the weather.
We would never do that.
No.
You know what?
No.
Nashville strong.
They would never over sensationalize the weather because it's one thing that local news still has.
That's right. Code red. It goes code red. You know it's serious.
Not radio news. I'm talking about the TV news.
Yeah.
We got Ken Weaver.
Yeah.
The weather wizard.
Yeah, no question.
No question.
So that's what I want to say. It's right now in Clarksville, it's 83 degrees. Real feels 83 degrees.
Yes.
Oh, doesn't that sound stupid?
Yeah. But when it's 97 and because Ken, you know this, you're in the desert and it's 97 and it's like, okay, this feels 97.
Yeah.
When it's 97 here, you've been at 120 degrees. You know what 120 is.
You know, I feel on August 6th at Hop Springs in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Chad Benson and I are going to have a nice, lusty 1 hour debate because I feel like Benson is pro real feels. I
am pro refills.
Oh, let's go, baby. Mano a mano.
Mano a mano. What do you say about
that's
that?
what we use for our swamp ass report.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fair.
It is fair.
You do
It
get
gets to a certain point. We all know how gross it is.
We all get a good bit out of it.
We do. We do.
We're talking about dishonesty on the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. They're running around trying to get people to sign petitions in Davidson County. I'm going to tell you all about it.
Wow, that's all coming up. You guys have a good one. Monday, just a few days away.
Three o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Well, federal health officials are investigating a new outbreak of cyclosporiasis, the parasite that is causing explosive diarrhea. The FDA says at least 72 people have been sickened, but investigators have not yet identified the food source. The outbreak comes as officials continue to investigate larger cyclosporiasis outbreaks linked to contaminated produce like lettuce. Health experts recommend thorough hand washing and cooking foods when possible to reduce the risk of infection. President Trump says Americans should not have to absorb the energy costs of the rapidly expanding artificial intelligence industry. That's the goal of an expanded voluntary agreement involving utilities, governors, and data center developers, he announced today.
That's why earlier this year I introduced the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. Under this groundbreaking plan, America's largest tech companies have formally committed to fund or build all energy infrastructure required to meet the demand they are placing on the grid. So they're going to be funding all of those electric needs, and we're giving them the right to build their own power plants.
Officials say the effort reflects rising concerns about affordability. And the Senate today blocking a resolution aimed at requiring congressional authorization for continued hostilities with Iran. The outcome preserves the administration's current authority to conduct operations. The vote followed House passage of a similar resolution when 4 Republicans crossed the aisle to vote with Democrats. Patrick DeHaan of Gas Buddy telling ABC News gas, especially jet fuel and diesel, will continue to rise and urges people to fill up their tanks as soon as they can.
It's all because of what's happening with the strait. Now, 2 straits, not only the Strait of Hormuz, but Bab el-Mandeb, a strait that connects the Red Sea. And it's not just oil, but Ukrainian attacks on Russia continue as well. That's knocking out refining capacity that's badly needed. So this is just unfolding into not only an oil issue, but a refining issue. And of course, we also have Mother Nature to contend with as well in the weeks ahead.
So he says in a matter of days, average gasoline price could be up around $5.50 or $5.60. Gas Buddy putting the average price per gallon in Middle Tennessee today at $3.75. A magnitude 5.0 earthquake shook Texas this morning in the northwest part of the state near Amarillo.